is the contempt of court. Since Mr. KCR has put upon himself to not let this Padayatra go on, he is using the police department, he is firing from the shoulders of the police department, he is targeting my Padayatra, and he is making sure that this Padayatra doesn't move forward, because he knows the kind of adoration that people have for YSR and YSR Telangana Party.
Tension prevailed during Hanuman Jayanti celebrations in Srirangapattanam in Karnataka on two instances. In the first instance, a devotee was seen flinging a flag from atop a household and then hoisting a saffron flag. In another instance, hundreds of devotees started chanting Jai Shri Ram near a place of worship in Srirangapattanam. And some election news now. After high voltage campaigning, the countdown has begun for the high stakes political battle to conclude in Gujarat today, with the final phase of polling for the ongoing assembly elections to be held in a short while from now. To begin in a short while from now, polling in the second and final phase will be conducted for 93 assembly constituencies across 14 districts of north and central Gujarat. As many as 833 candidates from 61 parties are in the fray in the second phase. Their fate will be decided by over 2.51 lakh electors. Prime Minister Modi to inaugurate two-day National Office Bearers meeting of the Bharatiya Janata Party today. The meeting will be presided over by Party President JP Nadda. Expected that the party's strategy for the upcoming state assembly elections will be discussed at the meet. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to inaugurate Pramukh Swami Maharaja's birthday centenary festival in Ahmedabad. This will be a 30-day festival to be held from December 15th to the 15th of next month. The month-long festival will be hosted on a 600-acre site called Pramukh Swami Nagar. The site is nearing completion and no entry fee will be charged. Lakhs of devotees from across the world are expected to attend the mega celebrations. Rashtriya Loktaantrik Party MP Hanuman Beniwal on Sunday demanded a CBI or an SIT probe against 6 people arrested in connection with the Sikar gang shootout and the murder of Raju Thet, a gangster from the Shekhawati region. According to reports, Thet was gunned down by 5 assailants outside his home in Sikar town on Saturday.
पुलिस 5 आदमियों को पकड़ के इतिश्रा करना चाहती, वो चाहती कि यहाँ धरना समाप्त हो, क्योंकि इसके पीछे बड़े लोगों का हाथ है। और जहाँ से मुलजिम पकड़े गए हैं वो कांग्रेसी नेताओं के और मंत्रियों के बता रहे नज़दीकी लोगों के वहाँ से पकड़े गए। ये जांच का विषय है और ये जांच मुझे नहीं लगता कि ये पुलिस कर पाएगी। या तो एसओजी SIT बनाए या CBI के अंदर इस मामले को दिया जाए, पूरा पता लगे कि तार कहाँ से जुड़े हुए हैं इस मामले के।
6 accused have been detained in the Sikar gang war case. According to police officials, their sustained interrogation is yet to be conducted. 5 foreign-made pistols and 183 ammunition rounds of 9mm have been recovered from them.
2 अपराधियों को ये दस्तयाब करने में कामयाब हुई ये पूरी टीम इनकी। और सुबह अर्ली मॉर्निंग 2 अपराधी हरियाणा के और 1 बाल अपचारी, इनको ये दस्तयाब करने में कामयाब हुए। ये जो सुबह जो हुआ उसको ऑपरेशन में इन्होंने पुलिस पे फायर किया, तो इंस्पेक्टर मनीष और इंस्पेक्टर हिम्मत पे फायर किया, तो उन्होंने जवाबी फायर किया और उसमें 2 जो अपराधी हैं वो हरियाणा के हैं, वो घायल हुए। उनका उपचार कराया जा रहा है, उनसे इंट्रोगेशन होगा, गिरफ्तारी होगी और उसके बाद जो भी नेटवर्क होगा वो खुला जाएगा।
And protests against the recent shootout at Sikar turned violent as protesters slammed barriers in Rajasthan. In Sikar there, MP Hanuman Beniwal was seen during the protests. Protesters are demanding security for the family of Raju Thet and a government job as well as financial help for the deceased civilian Tara Chand's family. A case has been... And a case registered for obstructing security officials and slapping a police constable in Rajasthan's Bharatpur. According to the official Kaur, who is also a member of a former Bharatpur royal family, is accused of misbehaving with a constable on Friday in Akhad Tiraha. And in other news, that we're tracking in a joint operation, Tarn police and troops of the Border Security Force recovered a quadcopter drone with 3 kgs of heroin during a search in the area of police station Valtoha on the 3rd of December. That's the day before yesterday. Uttar Pradesh today will witness by-polls in the all-crucial Mainpuri parliamentary seat that was left vacant due to the passing away of Mulayam Singh Yadav, SP Supremo. By-polls in the assembly seats of Rampur Sadar and Khatoli were necessitated after SP MLA Azam Khan and BJP MLA Vikram Singh Saini were disqualified following the conviction in different cases. The seats will see a direct contest between the BJP and the SP Rashtriya Lokdal alliance. The 85th plenary session of the Indian National Congress will be held in Raipur in the second half of February next year. The announcement was made by the steering committee of the party at a meeting in New Delhi. The meeting was presided over by Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge. Congress leader Rahul Gandhi on Sunday accused the BJP of spending enormous amounts of money to destroy his image. Sharing a YouTube video link, Rahul posted on his official Twitter handle, I quote, "Check the truth of my media image," unquote. The video, which purportedly has Rahul Gandhi's voiceover and bears the Congress's Bharat Joro Yatra's logo, claims that the Saffron Party was spending a huge amount of money to defame his image. Congress MP K.C. Venugopal has said it is not practical for former party president Rahul Gandhi to attend the winter session of Parliament as the Bharat Jodo Yatra is underway. The winter session begins on the 7th of December and will continue till the 29th of December. The BJP has questioned Rahul Gandhi for his alleged decision to skip the Parliament session.
Actually, the Bharat Jodo Yatra till 25 of this December is there. I think winter session is on 7th to 27th, that is what the schedule is, 29th. It is not practical to attend the parliament for Rahul Gandhi now. Then regarding this CWC election, it will happen according to the constitution.
In other news, 3 members of a family were killed on National Highway 44 at Pedasharpur village in Telangana's Ranga Reddy district on Sunday. This, according to police reports, which further state that the incident happened due to rash driving and negligence of the driver. Further investigations, however, are underway. 2 people dead, more than 30 injured as a goods carrier. They were travelling overturned in Pondgaon in Antagar of Kanker district. According to sources, the injured have been admitted to a local health centre. AIUDF Supremo and Lok Sabha MP from Assam, Badruddin Ajmal, has apologized for his remarks targeting the Hindu community, saying he was ashamed of the controversy it stoked, even as police complaints were lodged against him across the state. Ajmal, however, maintains his comments were twisted and he had not targeted any community.
किसी का दिल तोड़ने के लिए, किसी इंडिविजुअल का दुख देने के लिए या किसी हिंदू भाइयों का या किसी संगठन का हमने बेइज्जती अपमान करने के लिए ऐसा बात हमने नहीं बोला, लेकिन एक इशू बन गया तो इसलिए मुझे इसका खेद है। मैं इसके लिए लज्जित हूँ, शर्मिंदा हूँ। ऐसा मेरे से जैसा आदमी, सीनियर आदमी से ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए।
Prime Minister Modi met his mother at his brother's Gandhinagar residence yesterday as he arrived to cast his vote today. The Prime Minister sought his mother's blessings a day ahead of phase 2 of the Gujarat polls. With pollution in the national capital turning severe on Sunday, the centre's air quality panel has directed authorities in the Delhi NCR to ban non-essential construction work in the region under Stage 3 of the Graded Response Action Plan. Waterlogging was witnessed in parts of Puducherry due to heavy rains. IMD has predicted heavy rains in Puducherry and 7 districts of Tamil Nadu due to low pressure area forming over southeast Bay of Bengal. A low pressure area forming over Southeast Bay of Bengal and the adjoining area, South Andaman Sea is likely to bring very heavy rains in Puducherry and 7 districts of Tamil Nadu, says the IMD in a press release on Sunday. Union Minister for Space, Science and Technology Dr. Jitendra Singh will visit the United Arab Emirates soon. He is due to attend the inaugural Abu Dhabi space debate that will be held today. Iran has abolished the country's morality police. This comes as protests raged across the country between demonstrators and security forces for months, triggered by the arrest and subsequent death of Mahsa Amini over violating the country's strict dress code. As per international media reports, Apple is considering shifting supply chains from China to other countries like India or Vietnam. China's spaceship, the Shenzhou 14, carrying 3 astronauts who lived in its orbiting space station for 6 months, touched down at the landing site in North Inner Mongolia Autonomous Region safely. And protesters gathered in the Taiwanese capital to show their support for the anti-government protests against severe COVID-19 restrictions in China, which were triggered by a fire in Urumqi city in Xinjiang province at the end of November. Scores gathered near the Chinese consulate in Istanbul to protest after the fire last week in China's northwestern Xinjiang region killed 10 people and injured 9. The Mauna Loa volcano could be seen spewing ash and lava on Hawaii's Big Island yesterday. Mauna Loa, which last erupted 38 years ago, is one of 5 volcanoes that together make up the Big Island of Hawaii. Indonesia's highest volcano on its most densely populated island released searing gas clouds and rivers of lava in its latest eruption. The southern Ukrainian city of Kherson was heavily shelled on Saturday night, causing fires in different parts of the city, damaging trees and injuring at least 2 people. Nearly 1,700 seals were found dead on the Caspian Sea coast in southern Russia. An Israeli aircraft struck several military sites in the Gaza Strip after Palestinian terrorists fired a missile into southern Israel in a move apparently linked to rising tension in the occupied West Bank once again. More international news. A video has gone viral of Netherlands where they returned to their team hotel full of joy after defeating the United States 3-1 in the FIFA World Cup. The video, which has gone viral on social media, shows players including scorer Memphis Depay dancing into the foyer, cheered on by fans and staff. Coach Louis van Gaal was also a part of the fun celebration. Netherlands' next game is against Argentina on Friday. Louis van Gaal's Netherlands trained a day after reaching the quarterfinals of the 2022 World Cup. They were seen on the field. South Korea trained at the World Cup base in Doha on the eve of a round of 16 against tournament favourites Brazil. And Neymar has been declared fit for Brazil's last 16 clash against South Korea. According to coach Tite, Neymar will play for Brazil in the World Cup last 16 clash against South Korea. And in Brazil, football legend Pelé says he feels strong and has a lot of hope as he received hospital treatment in his battle against colon cancer. South Africa moved to the top of the World Rugby 7 Series standings after winning round 2 of the 11-event season in Dubai, which is their 4th straight title in the United Arab Emirates. Indian skipper Rohit Sharma surpassed former batsman Mohammad Azharuddin to become the 6th highest run getter for the country in one-day international cricket. Also, batsman Rishabh Pant has been released from the ODI squad after the meeting with BCCI medical team. The Board of Control for Cricket in India tweeted that Akshar Patel was not available for selection for the first ODI. And the men's hockey team went down to Australia 4-5 in the final match of the 5-match series at the Mate Stadium in Adelaide. Indian shuttler Unnati Huda becomes the first ever Indian under-17 shuttler to clinch a medal at the Asian Junior Badminton Championships. She lost to Sarunrak Vindasan of Thailand in the gold medal match in the women's singles category. And
As Gujarat goes to polls on the 1st of December, 89 of 182 seats will vote.
Where high voltage political battle has broken out in the state of Gujarat since the bipolarity of the state.
Will the BJP score a record victory in Gujarat? Is the Aam Aadmi Party even a factor?
Politics has been challenged for the first time. Watch the fastest updates only on India's election headquarters
On Republic TV.
आज के दिन जब दिल में दर्द है अपने जवानों की शहादत पर, उसी के साथ साथ जब ये नारे गूंजते हैं तो एक सुकून है, एक हिम्मत है।
मैं इस वक्त जाफराबाद में मौजूद हूं और आप मेरे पीछे देख सकते हैं कि यहाँ पर फोर्स डिप्लॉयड है। कोशिश ये है पुलिस कर्मियों की, अर्धसैनिक बलों की कि यहाँ पर किसी तरह का कोई दंगा ना भड़क पाए।
तो आपको लगातार बता रहे हैं कि किसान कानून वापस हुए हैं और किसान कानून वापस होने के बाद सीधे किसानों के बीच पहुंची हूं और किसानों से ही बात कर रही हूं। शाहीन बाग पर बुलडोजर चलेगा। शाहीन बाग को लेकर जो राजनीति गरमाई रही वो और ज्यादा गरमाएगी, ये बिल्कुल तय है।
What is it that is unique about your father's story to build the largest logistics company?
99% in the movie, it is a real-time story what has happened with us in our life. That's what been captured.
Why should a young person watch this film?
All the youngsters out there, they want to be an entrepreneur just in overnight. मतलब वो shortcut देख रहे हैं. Any business for that matter or any work for that matter और success आपको overnight नहीं आती. This is that film.
Pakistan that would boast to the Chinese and tell them that, you know, we can guarantee you absolute peace in Afghanistan. Build the China-Pakistan.
welcome back. You're watching This Morning on Republic, and as we are still on news of the elections in Gujarat, it's the second leg, the second phase rather, for the race for Gujarat. But it's not only confined to the Congress and the BJP this time around, as the Aam Aadmi Party has emerged as a third entrant this time round. AAP has fielded candidates in 181 seats. But will their aspirations to go national traverse through Gujarat? Here's more.
After Punjab, the Aam Aadmi Party is hoping to make inroads in the state of Gujarat. The party's national convener, Arvind Kejriwal, has been extensively campaigning in the poll-bound state. Hoping to build a stronghold in Gujarat, Punjab CM Bhagwant Mann too stepped up in the battleground. With the Aam Aadmi Party contesting 88 of the 89 seats in the first phase of polling and all 93 seats in the second phase, it is a party which can definitely not be ignored. But the BJP, which has ruled the state for the last 27 years, is not frazzled.
और मुझे पूरा भरोसा है कि 2022 के विधानसभा चुनाव में अब तक के सारे रिकॉर्ड सबसे ज्यादा सीट प्राप्त करने के और सबसे ज्यादा मत प्राप्त करने के हम तोड़कर प्रचंड बहुमत के साथ सरकार बनाने जा रहे हैं.
The question now remains, will the AAP emerge as a key factor or not? Bureau Report, Republic TV.
And with that is a wrap on this edition of This Morning. But coming up after a very short break, following the news here on Prime Minister Modi inaugurating the two-day National Office Bearers meeting of the Bharatiya Janata Party, the party to plan its strategy for 2023 and 2024. Also, the centre to convene an all-party meet to strategize for 2023 G20 meet that India is hosting.
A high-voltage battle which will decide the nation's political trajectory. Who will break their records and which faces will be the winners?
89 out of the 182 seats go to polls. Stay tuned to India's election news headquarters
as Gujarat goes to polls. Live coverage minute by minute
all day today on Republic. The mandate from the two states.
It's been a high-stakes battle for the Prime Minister.
Who will win, Gujarat and Himachal?
While the opposition was missing in action, the people have given the real mandate.
Will the BJP retain both the states? Is the Aam Aadmi Party even a factor?
Get the earliest peep into the verdict with
Republic PMark exit poll, December the 5th at 6 p.m.
Waterlogging has increased in the last 3 to 4 hours. Elphinstone station is shut, which means all those people who are hoping to go back home. When you look at that crowd, what's the message that Houston is sending out? There is also anticipation of a few announcements being made. What are your expectations when they both come up on stage? Are you expecting something big? I'm at the Jama Masjid in Bandra and there are thousands of people behind me. Why they are protesting, but the situation is pretty tense. Thousands of people that you see. 4 दिन की रिमांड है, 4 दिन की रिमांड. कुछ कहना चाहते हैं आप? पत्राचौल स्कैम, मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग का चार्ज के बारे में क्या बोलना चाहते हैं आप? As Gujarat goes
Good morning and welcome. You are watching Republic TV and this is our broadcast and special coverage of the second phase of polling that takes place today in Gujarat. It's across 93 constituencies and we'll be bringing you all the updates as our reporting team will be getting you minute by minute coverage of the second phase. We begin with the headlines. It is the final countdown. Fate of 93 seats to be sealed in the second and the final phase of the Gujarat elections. From Prime Minister to Amit Shah to the Chief Minister, top guns to vote today in Gujarat. In less than 12 hours, catch the biggest exit poll coverage on Republic TV with India's #1 news team. Voting to also be held for 1 Lok Sabha and 6 assembly seats. Tough fight between the Samajwadi Party, the BJP, for the Mainpuri seat. Prime Minister Modi is set to inaugurate a 2-day National Office Bearers meeting of the BJP today, party to plan strategy for 2023 and 2024. Centre to convene an all-party meeting to strategize for the 2023 G20 meeting.
Well, the polling for the second phase of the assembly elections is set to begin shortly. The Gujarat Assembly has 182 seats in the first phase. Voting was held for 89 seats in Saurashtra, Kutch and South Gujarat regions. Today's phase will have a voting that will be taking place for 93 assembly seats across Ahmedabad, Vadodara and other central and northern Gujarat regions. And in less than 12 hours, you can catch the biggest exit poll coverage on Republic TV with India's #1 news team. So do remember, 12 hours is what we're counting down to. We are going to be bringing you an exit poll. Of course, we will be looking at all the constituencies as well as looking at what takes place thereafter. Now, I'm going to try and go across in a bit to our correspondents on the ground today as they bring us minute-by-minute updates. We'll have Priyanka, Madhurima and Harsha, all of them joining us live in a bit. But let's quickly take a look at what's happening today. Now, do remember, it's 93 seats, 833 candidates and what looks like largely a three-cornered contest for Gujarat. Today, of course, we are expecting Prime Minister Modi as well as the Home Minister Amit Shah, both of them to be casting their votes as well. And we are bringing you the key constituencies as well as the people who are fighting on these seats. Now, the first phase, of course, of the Gujarat Assembly elections did see a low voter turnout, which had prompted the Election Commission essentially to talk to voters and try and send out a message saying that this was a part of urban apathy. So hopefully the voting numbers will go up today and we'll have large number of people turning out to vote. I think we've got Harsha live with us. And also, I think we've got Priyanka. Priyanka is reporting from where the Prime Minister will be casting his vote, and Harsha is reporting from where the Home Minister Amit Shah will be casting his vote. Priyanka, good morning. First, coming to you. Give us an overall sense of what's happening around you. Of course, this is the second phase. A lot of excitement in the air. Top leaders also casting their ballots today. So give us a wrap-up of what we are expecting.
That's right, Rukma. Of course, we have been tracking the entire election, the run-up to the election, the campaign, and of course, we see that the second phase of voting is finally here, and we will see that the elections will be wrapping up soon. And of course, the counting will be taking place on December 8th. And as you rightly put out, the overview as far as the constituencies are concerned, in the first phase of voting, we had seen South Gujarat, Saurashtra, Kutch region that went into polling, and of course, in the second phase of elections, we are seeing the central and the northern districts of Gujarat going into polling, and that also includes Ahmedabad and Gandhinagar. Ahmedabad is where we are standing. Arnab, more specifically, is the area name. It comes under the Sabarmati constituency, and we are standing right outside the polling booth where, in fact, the Prime Minister will be coming here and casting his vote as he usually does, as we have been tracking over the last several elections, then be it 2017 or 2019 as well, where we had, I remember in 2019 he had done a roadshow and had also spoken to the media personnel, and today as well it seems the kind of security deployment that has been done, that it is a mega event, because this is also a reminder for the people of Gujarat that this is not just their Prime Minister, this is not just somebody who has served the people of Gujarat as the Chief Minister, but also somebody who is a Gujarati, and he is somebody who votes here. He is a part of the electorate, is the kind of message that we usually see coming out. But of course, in the kind of run-up to the elections, we have seen what we can expect are some of the key fights that we are looking at. Because, Rukma, we have seen some of the key constituencies, the key faces of several parties.
Some
and
issue
those
with
are
your
the
microphone over there. Please fix that. This is Nupuria. We'll come back to you in just a bit. If you could fix your mic, Priyanka. Harsha, you are, of course, at the constituency where the Home Minister will be voting. So to begin with, give us a sense of the overall atmosphere over there.
Exactly, Nupur. Today, the second phase of election in Gujarat, in this constituency, Naranpura, where exactly I am standing because it comes under Ahmedabad. In Ahmedabad, there are all over 21 seats, and Naranpura is one amongst this. This seat is very important because H.M. Amit Shah has been contesting from this seat from the year 1997 till 2017, when he went to Rajya Sabha in 2017. Then Kaushik Bhai Patel was fielded in 2017 from this place, and BJP won this seat. This seat has always been the BJP mandate seat. Let me show you the visuals also, because from 8 a.m. onwards, the voting will start. All the preparations have been done. The CRPF battalion, the voting officers, all are here in Naranpura Assembly constituency. If we talk especially about Ahmedabad, in 2017, 16 out of 21 seats came to BJP, and rest went to Congress. But this time BJP is expecting that more than 16 seats they could retain in this second phase in this 2022 Gujarat election. As we show you the visuals, 8 a.m. the people of the constituency will come and start voting here, but all the preparations have been done. This election becomes very much important, and we're expecting H.M. Amit Shah to reach this very place, the voting center, at around 10:30 a.m. We have been told that he will be coming at 10:30 a.m. to cast his vote. If we talk about the overall number, how many candidates are there in second phase of this assembly election, then we are getting to know 833 candidates are in the fray from different political parties, which involve 61 political parties, because there are many political parties, many independent candidates who are fighting in this Gujarat election. There are candidates from AIMIM, Congress, Aam Aadmi Party, BJP, many independent candidates, and many regional parties as well. So we are getting to know that 14 central and northern states of Gujarat, northern districts of Gujarat is going to vote today in the second phase, and all the preparations have been done. The major areas of BJP has always been Ahmedabad, Panchmahal, Vadodara, Banaskantha, Aravalli, Anand, Mehsana. These areas have been the BJP core areas, and BJP have been campaigning widely in all these areas. If we see the road show of Pradhan Mantri Narendra Modi, if we talk about the road shows of H.M. Amit Shah, not only that, the leaders who had the wide Hindutva image, if we talk about Hemanta Biswa Sarma, if we talk about Yogi Adityanath, all have been campaigning widely for all the places of this second phase of assembly election, from Panchmahal to various places. Now we have to see that how this second phase goes on, because in first phase we saw that the voting percentage went up to 60%. Now in the second phase the voting will start from 8 a.m. till 5 p.m. and today, in fact, on Republic, the exit polls will also come after 5 p.m. But this elections becomes very much important, Nupur, especially the constituency where I am standing, because BJP is expecting that this time the number should go more than 99, because in 2017 we saw that in second phase in 2017 BJP won 51 seats and Congress won 39 seats, but this time BJP wants more, and therefore they spread all their power in the second phase. We have seen multiple road shows. Yes, Nupur.
Absolutely, Harsha. Do stay with us, Harsha. I think we've also got Priyanka joining us again. Priyanka, I'm going to come to you in just a bit, but it is the last leg of campaigning. Now, the second phase of polling is set to commence. Here's a look at all the major addresses by the Prime Minister that remain a highlight of this election season.
With the second and final phase of voting coming up in Gujarat today, the ruling BJP and opposition Congress and Aam Aadmi Party have put their best foot forward to woo the voters. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has been campaigning extensively in Gujarat for the assembly elections. Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed over 31 rallies in total and led 3 big road shows in Gujarat, wrapping up. This time Gujarat witnessed less number of rallies from Prime Minister Modi compared to that of 2017 tally, which was 34. Prime Minister Narendra Modi took out his time from his busy schedule and went to Gandhinagar, to the residence of his mother, and took her blessings. Prime Minister Narendra Modi in his rally said that Congress is a well-wisher of terrorists. He further stated that Congress has destroyed Gujarat and the entire country, and Congress model means corruption, dynastic politics, sectarian and casteism.
કોંગ્રેસના આલા કમાને આદરણીય ખડગેજીને અહીંયા મોકલ્યા. કોંગ્રેસ પાર્ટીના નવા પ્રમુખ છે એમને મોકલ્યા. અને ખડગેજીને હું ઓળખું છું, એમનો ખૂબ આદર કરું છું, એમનું સન્માન કરું છું. પણ ખડગેજીને તો એ જ બોલવું પડે જે એમને ત્યાંથી ભણાવીને મોકલ્યા હોય. અને કોંગ્રેસ પાર્ટી એને ખબર નથી કે આ રામ ભક્તોનું ગુજરાત છે.
Prime Minister Modi arrived in Gujarat on 27th November and addressed rallies from Kheda, Netrang, Anjar, Jamnagar, Rajkot, Panchmahal district, Chota Udaipur, Ahmedabad, Himmatnagar, Surat, Vadodara and Bhavnagar till the last day of the campaign. In a mega 50-kilometer road show for over 4 hours, Prime Minister Modi traversed the length and breadth of Ahmedabad. Flower petals were showered, chantings of Modi, Modi reverberated at the road show, and that is the testament to the fact that it's Modi factor all along. Prime Minister Modi's connect with people is undeniable as the cavalcade traverses through 16 assembly segments.
मोदी के जैसा पावरफुल कोई नहीं है इंडिया में. इंडिया बेस्ट, मोदी बेस्ट.
100% है मैडम. बीजेपी के अलावा कोई ऑप्शन ही नहीं है हमारे पास, यही है.
आपको लगता है कि आप या कांग्रेस टक्कर दे सकती है? कांग्रेस टक्कर दे सकती है बीजेपी को?
कोई मुकाबले में ही नहीं है. बीजेपी है. 3 लोग का चेहरा है गुजरात में, मोदी जी और मोदी जी, और कोई है ही नहीं.
This election is not less than a three-way fight between BJP and its leading opposition. However, Prime Minister has reduced the number of rallies to 31 this year, showing its confidence in retain a nearly 3-decade hold over the state. It is clear that the Modi factor cannot be discounted this election season. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
All right, I think we've also got Madhurima reporting from the same place where Priyanka is. It's at a high school in Ranip, I think, where the Prime Minister will be casting his vote. Coming to you first, Priyanka. Priyanka, even as we are awaiting, of course, for the Prime Minister to cast his ballot, Ahmedabad itself has about 16 seats over there, and very, very crucial to the BJP. It has had a strong sway over Ahmedabad, and obviously they will be hoping to either at least be able to retain it or do better. So give us a sense of what you are seeing in Ahmedabad.
Well, that's right, Nupur. Let's talk about Ahmedabad and Gandhinagar specifically, because there, as I was speaking about earlier, some of the key fights are actually in Ahmedabad and in Gandhinagar as well. Technically, Viramgam and Gandhinagar South, because let's remember in 2017, the 3 musketeers that we used to talk about, that is Hardik Patel, Alpesh Thakur and Jignesh Mevani. In fact, all 3 of them are going into polling today. They will be also casting their votes in their respective constituencies. Talking about Viramgam is where Hardik Patel has been given a ticket from the BJP, and we had seen the kind of internal revolt that he also had to overcome as far as the campaign is concerned. It seemed as though he's not just campaigning for the people of Viramgam, but also campaigning for the BJP cadre on the ground level, because he was in the Congress party, and how much has the party, the BJP in fact accepted him, is something that will be seen today, and we will be able to in fact understand that on December the 8th as well, when the counting really takes place. Apart from that, there is of course Alpesh Thakur, who has been given this time the ticket from Gandhinagar South. He was earlier fighting from Radhanpur, that was also being fought from the Congress seat, Congress ticket, and now he's been given the BJP ticket from Gandhinagar South as well. So he himself will also be voting today, and of course his constituency will also be going into polling today. And and we will have to also see how this kind of an effect has had on the people with respect to how these leaders had been changing their positions and changed their political parties as well, because these two people, remember, Nupur, had been some of the most vocal oppositions of the BJP as well. And then from 2017 to 2022, the kind of shift that we are seeing from them going to from the Congress party to the BJP is something that we will have to see how much people have really accepted them. Apart from that, of course, Jignesh Mevani will also be going into polls his entire constituency, who's Vadgam as well in North Gujarat. So these are some of the key places that we will have to watch out for. Apart from that, of course, some of the key issues that have surrounded the constituencies that are going into polling in the second phase, that we were able to tell from the kind of rallies that the Prime Minister had also addressed. Various rallies, Nupur, over the past few months, we have seen blitzkrieg of the kind of campaigning by the Prime Minister that was being carried out, then be it in the form of road shows, then be it in the form of rallies that he was addressing, and more specifically, the rallies that he has also addressed in the North Gujarat and in the Central Gujarat constituencies, speaking about particular issues of that of irrigation, of that of women empowerment, of that of development. These are some of the main issues that we have been able to tell from the kind of rallies and speeches that the Prime Minister has also given. And apart from that, Nupur, a very, very important part of this entire campaign is also how we have seen the Prime Minister projecting himself as the son of the soil that he is, but also to remind the people of Gujarat that he is one of them. He is somebody who has worked with them. He is somebody who has been on the ground with the people of Gujarat, with the BJP cadre on the ground as well. And every time in his rallies, he's tried to reiterate that and has said that this is not your Prime Minister, this is your own Narendra Bhai. And so to speak, that is the entire campaign that we have seen that the Prime Minister also doing. And of course, the fates of all the constituencies, at least of Central and North, that are going to be sealed today. And of course, we'll be able to tell the result on the 8th of December, Nupur.
Absolutely, Priyanka, do stay with us. Let's quickly go across also to Madhurima. She's also joining us from Ahmedabad. Madhurima, the Priyanka over there was talking about the kind of blitzkrieg that we have seen from the BJP. Whether it was before the first phase or before the second phase, where we saw the Prime Minister as well as Amit Shah, as well as senior leaders of the BJP, including Smriti Irani, I think, continuously hit the hustings. We haven't really seen that kind of a push coming in from the Congress party. It's been very muted. There was just one rally, I think, that Rahul Gandhi addressed. But apart from that, they say that they are focusing on the local constituencies. How much of that are you, have we actually seen on the ground in terms of, the Congress being out there amongst the people? And is there a sense among people also that perhaps the Congress party has given, may not have focused that much on Gujarat this time round?
Well, good morning, Nupur, and yes, absolutely, you are correct that Congress party did not put up a tough fight this time, and it is all the more surprising because the last time Congress party came very close to defeating the BJP and came out as a very strong opponent, but this time it felt like that the Congress had fatigued somewhere and that they did not make that kind of effort to woo the people, woo the electorates of Gujarat. Now what is to be seen is there could be a reason, and that is Mr. Arvind Kejriwal. He is the new entrant in the politics of Gujarat, where he had performed well in the municipal elections. We'll have to wait and watch as to whether his freebies ideas worked in Gujarat or not. Where I am reporting from Ahmedabad, people are speaking in the favor of the incumbent dispensation because they believe that the double engine ki sarkar would do them the favor they expect. And of course, we have to remember the Gujarat model is a highly talked about model across the entire globe. And working on those lines, Prime Minister rallied very aggressively, 31 rallies by the Prime Minister this time, and a very elongated and the largest one that happened on the last day of the campaigning, which the BJP BJP is touting was the Prime Minister longest and largest rally, and it had a lot of the entire vicinity poured out to support the Prime Minister. Now we'll have to see as to how it really works, because the BJP has been in Gujarat and is being loved by Gujarat since 1995, and to maintain that kind of trust is a Herculean and a very meticulous task.
All right, so
the polls will open.
All right, we seem to be running into some sort of trouble over there. Just to tell our viewers, visuals on your screens, I beg your pardon, are of the school where the Prime Minister, I think, will be casting his vote. Do remember that voting begins at 8 o'clock, and the Prime Minister, one would expect, would be among the early ones out. He does have a packed day after this as well. And Harsha, as well as Madhurima and Priyanka, continuing to bring us all the updates. Harsha, if I could come to you now. Harsha, detail for us the key issues that are playing out on the voters' minds as they cast their ballots today.
Exactly. One thing to put is very sure that this time the initial phase of the election, when we saw the campaigning started, the election wave was first made by Aam Aadmi Party in the state. BJP has been working in the ground level since long, because it has been said that BJP was working ahead of Gujarat polls since more than 2 years. The groundwork was being done, but election wave was seen by Aam Aadmi Party. But this time BJP, the road shows, the campaigns and the work which Prime Minister Narendra Modi have been doing in the state was largely talked about. The Congress have been saying that there's an anti-incumbency in the state, but if you talk about BJP, they have been talking about development, security, agenda of Hindutva, and many more key issues and many more key projects which they have given for the women voters in the Gujarat. So here we are, you're watching Republic TV. Stay tuned, because all the colors of the second phase of polling will be shown today on the Republic, from PM, Home Minister, CM, all important to vote in the second phase of polling today. Keep watching Republic TV. Stay tuned for a short break. After the break, we'll show you all the important seats and constituency from where the polling will be done today. Keep watching. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after a short break.
Amity has been ranked India's #1 not-for-profit private university for 10 years. With top 10 ranked institutions in management, engineering, biotech, law, mass comm, telecom, hospitality, fashion and more. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
The Congress candidate Rajendra Parmar was caught in a controversy after videos have gone viral of women dancers are hired to entertain the public.
As India marks Navy Day, mega celebrations in Visakhapatnam.
Karnataka, now in Mandya, where there were clashes reported during the Hanuman Jayanti celebrations. This was in Srirangapatna.
93 seats will go for polls on December 5th as phase 2 of polls goes underway. Stay tuned to India's election news headquarters. Plus post to post live coverage only on Republic TV.
Waterlogging has increased in the last 3 to 4 hours. Elphinstone station is shut, which means all those people who are hoping to go back home. When you look at that crowd, what's the message that Houston is sending out? There is also anticipation of a few announcements being made. What are your expectations when they both come up on stage? Are you expecting something big? I'm at the Jama Masjid in Bandra, and there are thousands of people behind me. Why they are protesting, but the situation is pretty tense. Thousands of people that you see. 4 दिन की रिमांड है, 4 दिन की रिमांड. कुछ कहना चाहते हैं आप? पत्राचौल स्कैम, मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग का चार्ज के बारे में क्या बोलना चाहते हैं आप?
Truck has collided with the government bus this morning, causing the government bus to fall to the side of the road and burst into flames. About 10 passengers have been injured who were rushed to the nearby hospital. The terror group has released a list of 56 Kashmiri Pandit employees that are on their target.
This drone was shot down in Taran sector when he crossed the international border and came to the Indian territory and tried to drop this drugs consignment inside the Indian territory.
The mandate from the two states.
It's been a high-stakes battle for the Prime Minister.
Who will win, Gujarat and Himachal?
While the opposition was missing in action, the people have given the real mandate.
Will the BJP retain both the states? Is the Aam Aadmi Party even a factor?
Get the earliest peep into the verdict with
Republic PMark exit poll, December the 5th at 6 p.m.
big win for global women's rights. Iran abolishes the morality police after.
Welcome back. Now, the battle for Gujarat is not only confined to the Congress and the BJP, as the Aam Aadmi Party has now emerged as a third force. The Aam Aadmi Party has fielded candidates in 181 seats, but will their aspirations to have a large national footprint traverse through Gujarat?
After Punjab, the Aam Aadmi Party is hoping to make inroads in the state of Gujarat. The party's national convener, Arvind Kejriwal, has been extensively campaigning in the poll-bound state. Hoping to build a stronghold in Gujarat, Punjab CM Bhagwant Mann too stepped up in the battleground. With the Aam Aadmi Party contesting 88 of the 89 seats in the first phase of polling and all 93 seats in the second phase, it is a party which can definitely not be ignored. But the BJP, which has ruled the state for the last 27 years, is not frazzled.
और मुझे पूरा भरोसा है कि 2022 के विधानसभा चुनाव में अब तक के सारे रिकॉर्ड सबसे ज्यादा सीट प्राप्त करने के और सबसे ज्यादा मत प्राप्त करने के हम तोड़कर प्रचंड बहुमत के साथ सरकार बनाने जा रहे हैं.
The question now remains, will the AAP emerge as a key factor or not? Bureau Report, Republic TV.
It's high-stakes battle, Gujarat. We'll have to wait and watch and see whether the BJP will be able to retain the throne of Gujarat, or will the Aam Aadmi Party be able to rattle that particular throne. Stay tuned to Republic TV. We'll be right back after a very short break to keep you ahead of all the news related to Gujarat polls. Stay tuned.
मेरी नजरों से चुना, तेरी हरकतों से सुना, कभी जीती तू, कभी मैं हारा, फिर भी खूबसूरत है ये नजारा, क्योंकि इसमें है खुला
कुछ मेरा, कुछ तुम्हारा.
अमेजिंग स्पेसेस के लिए ड्रीम लैम लैमिनेट्स, कुछ मेरा, कुछ तुम्हारा.
Big win for global women's rights. Iran abolishes the morality police after witnessing the anti-hijab protests.
YSRTP Chief YS Sharbila's Padayatra being stopped by the police as she was to resume it today. YS Sharbila says KCR is one who is using the police to stop her Padayatra. In Maharashtra's Palghar district, a mob thrashed a man with sticks and kicked him brutally on the suspicion of theft.
आज के दिन जब दिल में दर्द है अपने जवानों की शहादत पर, उसी के साथ साथ जब ये नारे गूंजते हैं तो एक सुकून है, एक हिम्मत है.
मैं इस वक्त जाफराबाद में मौजूद हूं और आप मेरे पीछे देख सकते हैं कि यहाँ पर फोर्स डिप्लॉयड है. कोशिश ये है पुलिस कर्मियों की, अर्धसैनिक बलों की, कि यहाँ पर किसी तरह का कोई दंगा ना भड़क पाए.
तो आपको लगातार बता रहे हैं कि किसान कानून वापस हुए हैं और किसान कानून वापस होने के बाद सीधे किसानों के बीच पहुंची हूं और किसानों से ही बात कर रही हूं. शाहीन बाग पर बुलडोजर चलेगा. शाहीन बाग को लेकर जो राजनीति गरमाई रही वो और ज्यादा गरमाएगी, ये बिल्कुल तय है.
The Congress candidate Rajendra Parmar was caught in a controversy after videos have gone viral of women dancers are hired
to entertain the public.
As India marks Navy Day, mega celebrations in Visakhapatnam.
Karnataka now in Mandya, where there were clashes reported during the Hanuman Jayanti celebrations. This was in Srirangapatna.
93 seats will go for polls on December 5th as phase 2 of polls goes underway. Stay tuned to India's election news headquarters. Gujarat Post to Post live coverage only on Republic TV.
Waterlogging has increased in the last 3 to 4 hours. Elphinstone station is shut, which means all those people who are hoping to go back home. When you look at that crowd, what's the message that Houston is sending out? There is also anticipation of a few announcements being made. What are your expectations when they both come up on stage? Are you expecting something big? I'm at the Jama Masjid in Bandra and there are thousands of people behind me. Why they are protesting, but the situation is pretty tense. Thousands of people that you see. 4 दिन की रिमांड है, 4 दिन की रिमांड. कुछ कहना चाहते हैं आप? पत्राचौल स्कैम, मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग का चार्ज के बारे में क्या बोलना चाहते हैं आप?
It is the final countdown, fate of 93 seats to be sealed in the second and the final phase of the Gujarat polls. From the Prime Minister to Amit Shah to the Chief Minister himself, top guns to vote in Gujarat today. And this evening on Republic TV, catch the biggest exit poll coverage with India's #1 news team. Voting to also be held for 1 Lok Sabha and 6 Assembly seats. Tough fight between the Samajwadi Party and the BJP for the Mainpuri seat. Prime Minister Modi set to inaugurate a 2-day National Office Bearers meeting with the BJP party to plan strategy for 2023 and 24. And the centre will be convening an all-party meeting to strategize for the 2023 G20 summit. Well, the second phase of polling is set to take place today. There are about 93 constituencies that go to vote today. This is out of 182 seats. Do remember, we are going across, I think, to a tweet that we've had from the Home Minister, Amit Shah, who will also be voting today, remember. Now, he has tweeted saying, and I quote, today is the second and the last phase of polling in Gujarat. I appeal to all voters of this phase, especially the youth, to vote in maximum numbers to elect a government with a thumping majority that will ensure peace and prosperity in Gujarat. The golden future of Gujarat lies in your one vote. So an appeal coming out there from the Home Minister for people to come out and vote in large numbers. Now, the first phase, of course, did see a dip in the polling numbers. The polling percentage, I think, stood at about 63%, which is about 4% lower than the elections of 2017. So an appeal being made by top political leaders for people to come out and vote in large numbers to ensure prosperity of Gujarat continues. I'm going to go across right now to Priyanka. Priyanka, one of the things that we have been talking about in this election has been the fact that the BJP has been in power for about 27 years. Now, if they do win this one, it'll equal the record essentially of the CPIM, which held West Bengal for about 31 years. So in that sense, it's it's something that the BJP has put its heart and soul into. But also, the other side of the coin is that there is anti-incumbency. Now, how do you think that the BJP is planning to essentially be able to tide over that?
No, but important that you ask this question, because we have seen the entire campaign as far as the BJP is concerned, the kind of strategy that the BJP had been planning upon, because through the run-up to the elections over the past few months, we have been on the ground tracking the state leadership and the kind of strategy that they had made. Of course, they had also spoken about they will be focusing on the constituencies that have that they lost last time in 2017 with a margin less than 5,000 votes. So, of course, the first focus of those constituencies, and then of course several other constituencies that are loyal vote banks of the Congress party, because the BJP has the reason to believe, they believe that the Aam Aadmi party is not going to be a factor that will work against them, but will be a factor that will work for them, because they will be cutting into the Congress party's vote share, and that is why the BJP will be able to garner more of a vote share in several of these constituencies that they believe they are stronger than the opposition. So the kind of planning that was being done by the BJP was a very telling sign as far as what the BJP believed was that this is a sure shot election for them. This is not much of a problem for them in terms of the opposition. It is mostly not just about making the government, but also about getting more constituencies, and those constituencies that are loyal vote banks or followers of the Congress party. And that is the kind of strategy that we saw of the BJP, thinking that they're comfortably winning, which it seems that they are, but they are going to be focusing more on the vote number of seats as well. Remember, in that entire campaign, we had seen the Prime Minister stumping for the Chief Minister Bhupendra Patel. And this is the new Chief Minister Bhupendra Patel, and we will talk about this in terms of the anti-incumbency question of yours, Nupur, very quickly. Because we had seen that the Prime Minister had been stumping for the Chief Minister Bhupendra Patel, and he had said that this time that all of the records that had been set by Narendra Modi in 2002 should be busted by the BJP cadre for Bhupendra Patel, and that he should get more seats than Narendra Modi got as the Chief Minister of Gujarat. And they've also said that their aspirations in fact are to get seats that are more in number than the record that had been set by Madhav Singh Solanki himself. So apart from that, of course, the kind of posturing that we have seen from the BJP, the kind of demeanor that we have seen the BJP campaign in, also is a very telling sign as far as what they believe is a very comfortable victory. Very quickly, coming to your anti-incumbency part, we do see on the ground that there was a level of anti-incumbency that was pacified, because remember, when the term started in 2017, Vijay Rupani was the Chief Minister, and in his tenure we have seen that the COVID-19 pandemic that had also created this level of anti-incumbency on the ground. But to that extent, some of it has been pacified because there was a government change. There was a government of Gujarat 2.0 that we had seen just last year, that Bhupendra Patel had also taken over as the Chief Minister.
Yes.
So a level of anti-incumbency that we were sensing on the ground over the last 2 years had been pacified last year when the government had changed. And of course, we will have to wait and watch how much it has worked in the favor of BJP on December the 8th, Nupur.
Absolutely, Priyanka. Stay with us. Quickly across to Harsha right now. Harsha, there is a new entrant on the block, the Aam Aadmi Party. It did relatively well in the Surat Municipal Corporation elections. But what are you seeing on the ground? Is there perhaps something that the people of Gujarat are talking about?
But in the first phase, we saw in the area of Saurashtra and Surat as well, there was a highly talked about that there were many seats which will go in the which will go to AAP in the first phase. But still, we don't know that how much AAP has maintained to make themselves on ground, substituting the Congress party in the Saurashtra and the South region. But if we talk about the central and the northern districts of Gujarat, there are many places where the OBC, SC and ST were angry with BJP because of so many reasons, and it has been said that Aam Aadmi Party has done a door-to-door campaign a lot in those areas. If we talk about the constituency in Panchmahal, in Banaskantha, in Aravali and Anand region, those are those places where the tribals, the SC, ST and OBC are large in numbers. And Aam Aadmi Party in the starting also of the second phase, though they have not done a big campaigns or the roadshow, but the door-to-door campaign was done by Sanjay Singh, was done by Manish Sisodia, Raghav Chaddha and different Aam Aadmi Party leaders as well. Though the fight could be seen in those areas between Congress and Aam Aadmi Party, but it is still being said that Congress has been working very sincerely and very secretly in the ground phase, because those are the places where in 2017 Congress had got good numbers and those are the definite voters of Congress. But BJP on the other hand, until the last date of the campaigning have been projecting their many many big leaders, central leaders in those areas. We have seen Smriti Irani campaigning in Modasa, heavily, hugely, talking to the ground workers, talking to the supporters, voters, talking to women voters. Though she has been speaking highly about education, security, electricity and the sort of development which has been done by BJP in the state of Gujarat in so many years. Since 95 to till now in 2022, we are seeing that how BJP has developed this entire Gujarat. They have been talking about rights which has not been seen in the state after 2002. And in 97, where we are standing for exactly 97, when Amit Shah first won from this constituency Naranpura. In 2008, after delimitation, this constituency became Naranpura. Before that, it was not Naranpura. But Amit Shah has been holding very strong, and this time Aam Aadmi Party's Pankaj Patel is expecting that he could win from this seat and he could defeat Jitendra Bhai Patel, who has been fielded from this Naranpura constituency, and this time candidate has
All right,
also been
do
fielded.
stay with us, Harsha. The Prime Minister has also tweeted ahead of the phase 2 of the elections. We are going to put that out for you in a bit. The Prime Minister once again saying that I request all citizens, especially the youth and women voters, to cast their votes in the second phase of the Gujarat Assembly elections. I will cast my vote in Ahmedabad at 9 a.m. So the Prime Minister, of course, will be casting his vote in Ahmedabad. He reached there last evening and we are given to understand that 9 a.m. is the time. He's going to be casting his vote, of course, in the Ranip area of Ahmedabad. On this, Madhurima is tracking all this. Madhurima, you're at the school where the Prime Minister is expected to cast his ballot. The Prime Minister once again requesting the youngsters to come out and vote. Now, also, Madhurima, one of the key focus points for, top political leaders is going to be to urge people to come out and vote, because we did see a bit of a dip in the first phase of elections. It was 63% of voting, a drop essentially of 4 percentage points.
Well, Nupur, exactly, because the percentage of the vote did decline, but the population in the span of these 5 years had increased by around 55 lakh, the population that could exercise their right to vote. So technically, 10 lakh more people had voted at the last time. Also, while talking about the entire, environment here, I'll keep on speaking and request my camera person to show you the visuals here. That as the Prime Minister is set to arrive over here, tough barricading all around this particular Ranip school, where the Prime Minister would be exercising his right to vote, and also very tough securities, dogs being deployed here to scrounge the entire area that has been enveloped by the local police and the paramilitary forces over here. Now, if we talk about the percentage of voting, as I was highlighting, that over 10 lakh more people had voted, irrespective of the fact that the voting percentage dipped from 67 to 63%. And in the similar fashion today, there are a huge number of people pouring out. As you can see, that the crowd that awaits Prime Minister's visit over here is massive. All around the corner, people waiting to cast their vote and also to have a glimpse of their homegrown hero. You can see the security detail, massive over here. Police dogs are searching, sniffing around to make sure that the entire area is sanitized properly and that the Prime Minister could vote without a hitch. His security personnel, a personal security detail along with paramilitary forces and the police have been deployed here to make sure that the entire procedure goes without a hitch. And we know that the Prime Minister is the son of the soil, and what he says and does really rings to the heart of people of Gujarat, and which is why we saw that how the Prime Minister carried out 31 rallies, and with a record-breaking longest and largest rally in the state of Gujarat, as the BJP is claiming. Now we have to see that how will the Modi magic continue to work, or will the Aam Aadmi Party be able to siphon some votes and seats in the state of Gujarat? Also, what needs to be counted here is that as the Congress is claiming that they have been working on the ground level without a lot of hoopla, but will that work or not is is a matter of contention. Now we have to it's just a couple of days on which the counting will begin, and it will be clear that has the BJP been able to maintain the trust, or whether it is the Aam Aadmi Party that will make inroads, or will the Congress retain the number of seats it won last time. Back to you.
All right. Absolutely. So, as you're pointing out, of course, a lot of hustle and bustle behind you. We can see the number of security personnel deployed. Also, of course, the Prime Minister votes in that constituency. So, 15 minutes to go for phase 2. The ballot opens at 8 a.m. Stay with us on Republic TV.
Well, we are on the ground getting you all the updates as the second phase of polling is going to be starting soon, and the Prime Minister is going to be coming here and casting his vote as well. Stay tuned to Republic as we get you all the breaking updates. It is your election news headquarters. We'll be back after a very short break.
मेरी नजरों से चुना, तेरी हरकतों से सुना, कभी जीती तू, कभी मैं हारा, फिर भी खूबसूरत है ये नजारा, क्योंकि इसमें है खुला
कुछ मेरा, कुछ तुम्हारा।
अमेजिंग स्पेसेस के लिए ग्रीन लैम लैमिनेट्स, कुछ मेरा, कुछ तुम्हारा।
Truck has collided with the government bus this morning, causing the government bus to fall to the side of the road and burst into flames. About 10 passengers have been injured who were rushed to the nearby hospital. The terror group has released a list of 56 Kashmiri Pandit employees that are on their target.
This drone was shot down in Taran sector when he crossed the international border and came to the Indian territory and tried to drop this drugs consignment inside the Indian territory.
The mandate from the two states.
It's been a high-stakes battle for the Prime Minister.
Who will win, Gujarat and Himachal?
While the opposition was missing in action, the people have given the real mandate.
Will the BJP retain both the states? Is the Aam Aadmi Party even a factor?
Get the earliest peep into the verdict with
Republic P-Mark exit poll, December the 5th at 6 p.m.
Big win for global women's rights. Iran abolishes the morality police after witnessing the anti-hijab protests.
YSRTP Chief Vice Sharbila Padayatra being stopped by the police as she was to resume it today. Vice Sharbila says KCR is one who is using the police to stop her Padayatra. In Maharashtra's Palghar district, a mob thrashed a man with sticks and kicked him brutally in the suspicion of theft.
के दिन जब दिल में दर्द है अपने जवानों की शहादत पर, उसी के साथ साथ जब ये नारे गूंजते हैं तो एक सुकून है, एक हिम्मत है।
मैं इस वक्त जाफराबाद में मौजूद हूं और आप मेरे पीछे देख सकते हैं कि यहाँ पर फोर्स डिप्लॉयड है। कोशिश ये है पुलिस कर्मियों की, अर्धसैनिक बलों की कि यहाँ पर किसी तरह का कोई दंगा ना भड़क पाए।
तो आपको लगातार बता रहे हैं कि किसान कानून वापस हुए हैं, और किसान कानून वापस होने के बाद सीधे किसानों के बीच पहुंची हूं और किसानों से ही बात कर रही हूं। शाहीन बाग पर बुलडोजर चलेगा। शाहीन बाग को लेकर जो राजनीति गरमाई रही वो और ज्यादा गरमाएगी, ये बिल्कुल तय है।
The Congress candidate Rajendra Parmar was caught in a controversy after videos have gone viral.
Welcome back. You are watching Republic TV, and this is a live broadcast of the phase 2 of Gujarat elections, where 93 seats will be polling today. And the focus, of course, of this phase is on North and Central Gujarat. We'll be tracking all the developments for you through the day. Of course, our correspondents on the ground, Priyanka, as well as Harsha. and Madhurima. But quickly cutting across now to a tweet that we are getting. This is Arvind Kejriwal, the Chief Minister of Delhi, as well as the convener of the Aam Aadmi Party. Essentially, the challenger, as he calls himself, for this elections, tweeting ahead of the elections, asking people to come out in large numbers to vote. He says in the second phase, voting is being held in 93 seats in Gujarat today. My appeal to all voters. This election is the election of new hopes and aspirations of Gujarat. It is a great opportunity that has come after decades looking towards the future. Do come by voting for the progress of Gujarat. This time come by doing something different and wonderful. So in a sense, hoping that people, of course, will use this opportunity to cast their ballots and vote in change. That's what Arvind Kejriwal has tweeted ahead of the phase 2 of Gujarat polls. Now, of course, the Aam Aadmi Party aiming to make a dent in Gujarat at least. We have seen the Aam Aadmi Party concentrate largely on Gujarat in these polls. They did ignore Himachal Pradesh to that extent. And Arvind Kejriwal and his top lieutenants, in a sense, were camping almost in Gujarat for about a month before these elections. I'm going to go across very, very quickly to Priyanka right now. Priyanka, it's in North Gujarat. Now, what we saw, of course, in the last elections was... All right, I'm going to go across to Harsha in a bit. Harsha, stay with us. But Priyanka, what I wanted to focus on was that in North Gujarat, actually, the Congress won more seats than the BJP in the last round of elections. I think they were 17 to 14. That was the ratio. So in that sense, do you think that when the BJP says that they see the Congress as the main opposition party and they believe that the Aam Aadmi Party has no place in this fight, they may essentially be touching upon the truth. The Congress does have a large vote share, which is very difficult to ignore.
A very interesting point there, Nupur, when it comes to the north of Gujarat, because we have seen in the second phase of the campaigning, we did see a worrisome BJP in certain constituencies in the north of Gujarat, and that is a telling sign because we saw several rallies of not just the Prime Minister, also of Amit Shah and also of JP Nadda himself, who had been in Himatnagar as well. Apart from him, the Home Minister Amit Shah had been in Himatnagar, in Sabarkantha, in Banaskantha. These are the districts in the north of Gujarat where we had seen that there were some issues that the BJP had been facing, and as you pointed out, when it comes to the arithmetic of 2017 and how many seats the Congress had been able to get, well, that is also a very telling sign when it comes to the 2017 elections, because the Congress party, as we have been talking about, in 2017 had an edge over the BJP then when it comes to the anti-incumbency factor or the partidar agitation factor, or for the fact that it was the first election in 2017 that the Prime Minister Narendra Modi was not in Gujarat as the serving Chief Minister of the state of Gujarat, as he had been in all of the earlier elections of up till 2012 as well. Now, that being said, we had seen in 2017 that the Congress party had gotten several of these seats, specifically where the Patidar community had been strong, and that goes in the north of Gujarat as well as central Gujarat, including districts like Mehsana as well as Patan. All of these places, in fact, where we had seen the Congress garnering more support than the BJP, and of course, that is why we had seen a worrisome BJP campaigning a lot more aggressively in north of Gujarat. If we just look at the Prime Minister's rallies, and if we just look at the last 1 week, Nupur, we can tell there were at least 3 to 4 rallies every day in north of Gujarat where the Prime Minister had been addressing. And let's also decode the kind of speeches that he had made. The kind of campaigning that he was doing in north of Gujarat was also him trying to make a personal connect, an emotional connect with the people of Gujarat. And we will be decoding all of his speeches, all of the campaign as we crack on the ground the second phase of polling that is going to be starting very, very soon. Stay tuned to Republic. This is your election news headquarters. We'll be back after a very short break.
The Congress candidate Rajendra Parmar was caught in a controversy after videos have gone viral of women dancers are hired to entertain the public.
As India marks Navy Day, mega celebrations in Visakhapatnam.
Karnataka now in Mandya, where there were clashes reported during the Hanuman Jayanti celebrations. This was in Srirangapatna.
93 seats will go for polls on December 5th as phase 2 of polls goes underway. Stay tuned to India's election news headquarters. Last vote to polls, live coverage only on Republic TV.
Waterlogging has increased in the last 3 to 4 hours. Elphinstone station is shut, which means all those people who are hoping to go back home. When you look at that crowd, what's the message that Houston is sending out? There is also anticipation of a few announcements being made. What are your expectations when they both come up on stage? Are you expecting something big? I'm at the Jama Masjid in Bandra and there are thousands of people behind me. Why they are protesting, but the situation is pretty tense. Thousands of people that you see. 4 दिन की रिमांड है, 4 दिन की रिमांड। कुछ कहना चाहते हैं आप? पत्राचौल स्कैम, मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग का चार्ज के बारे में क्या बोलना चाहते हैं आप?
Truck has collided with the government bus this morning, causing the government bus to fall to the side of the road and burst into flames. About 10 passengers have been injured who were rushed to the nearby hospital. The terror group has released a list of 56 Kashmiri Pandit employees that are on their target.
This drone was shot down in Taran sector when he crossed the international border and came to the Indian territory and tried to drop this drugs consignment inside the Indian territory.
The mandate from the two states.
It's been a high-stakes battle for the Prime Minister.
Who will win, Gujarat and Himachal?
While the opposition was missing in action, the people have given the real mandate.
Will the BJP retain both the states? Is the Aam Aadmi Party even a factor?
Get the earliest peep into the verdict with
Republic PMark exit poll, December the 5th at 6 p.m.
Big win for global women's rights. Iran abolishes the morality police after witnessing the anti-hijab protests.
YSRTP Chief Vice Sharbila Padayatra being stopped by the police as she was to resume it today. Vice Sharbila says KCR is one who is using the police to stop her Padayatra. In Maharashtra's Palghar district, a mob thrashed a man with sticks and kicked him brutally on the suspicion of theft.
के दिन जब दिल में दर्द है अपने जवानों की शहादत पर, उसी के साथ साथ जब ये नारे गूंजते हैं तो एक सुकून है, एक हिम्मत है।
मैं इस वक्त जाफराबाद में मौजूद हूं और आप मेरे पीछे देख सकते
शक्ति को बढ़ाए और भारतीय जनता पार्टी को वोटदान करें।
ખાસ હાર્દિક તમે વિરમગામથી મેદાન હતા, ખાસ કેવા પડકારો અત્યાર સુધી કયા મુદ્દાને લઈને પ્રજા પર સમજમાં આવી?
રાજનીતિની અંદર હોય કે સામાજિક જીવનમાં પડકારો જ હોય, પરંતુ છેલ્લા 5 મહિનાથી વિરમગામ વિધાનસભાની અંદર ખૂબ જ ગ્રાઉન્ડ ઉપર કામ કરીને લોકોનો વિશ્વાસ જીતવાનો પ્રયાસ કર્યો છે અને નિશ્ચિત રૂપે વિરમગામ વિધાનસભા 10 વર્ષ પછી ભારતીય જનતા પાર્ટી જીતી રહી છે અને લોકોનો ઉત્સાહ અને ઉમંગ વિસ્તારના વિકાસ માટે ખૂબ જ પ્રયાસ સાથે સરકાર જોડે જે અપેક્ષાઓ
मेरी नजरों से चुना, तेरी हरकतों से सुना। कभी जीती तू, कभी मैं हारा, फिर भी खूबसूरत है ये नजारा, क्योंकि इसमें है घुला
कुछ मेरा, कुछ तुम्हारा। अमेजिंग स्पेसेस के लिए ग्रीन लैम लैमिनेट्स, कुछ मेरा, कुछ तुम्हारा।
Big win for global women's rights. Iran abolishes the morality police after witnessing the anti-hijab protests.
YSRTP Chief Vice Sharbila Padayatra being stopped by the police as she was to resume it today. Vice Sharbila says KCR is one who is using the police to stop her Padayatra. In Maharashtra's Palghar district, a mob thrashed a man with sticks and kicked him brutally on the suspicion of theft.
आज के दिन जब दिल में दर्द है अपने जवानों की शहादत पर, उसी के साथ साथ जब ये नारे गूंजते हैं तो एक सुकून है, एक हिम्मत है।
मैं इस वक्त जाफराबाद में मौजूद हूं और आप मेरे पीछे देख सकते हैं कि यहाँ पर फोर्स डिप्लॉयड है। कोशिश ये है पुलिस कर्मियों की, अर्धसैनिक बलों की कि यहाँ पर किसी तरह का कोई दंगा ना भड़क पाए।
तो आपको लगातार बता रहे हैं कि किसान कानून वापस हुए हैं और किसान कानून वापस होने के बाद सीधे किसानों के बीच पहुंची हूं और किसानों से ही बात कर रही हूं। शाहीन बाग पर बुलडोजर चलेगा। शाहीन बाग को लेकर जो राजनीति गरमाई रही वो और ज्यादा गरमाएगी, ये बिल्कुल तय है।
The Congress candidate Rajendra Parmar was caught in a controversy after videos have gone viral of women dancers are hired to entertain the public.
As India marks Navy Day, mega celebrations in Visakhapatnam.
Karnataka now in Mandya, where there were clashes reported during the Hanuman Jayanti celebrations. This was in Srirangapatna.
93 seats will go for polls on December 5th as phase 2 of polls goes underway. Stay tuned to India's election news headquarters. Last post to post, live coverage only on Republic TV.
Waterlogging has increased in the last 3 to 4 hours. Elphinstone station is shut, which means all those people who are hoping to go back home. When you look at that crowd, what's the message that Houston is sending out? There is also anticipation of a few announcements being made. What are your expectations when they both come up on stage? Are you expecting something big? I'm at the Jama Masjid in Bandra and there are thousands of people behind me. Why they are protesting, but the situation is pretty tense. Thousands of people that you see.
4 दिन की रिमांड है, 4 दिन की रिमांड। कुछ कहना चाहते हैं आप? पत्राचौल के मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग का चार्ज के बारे में क्या बोलना चाहते हैं आप?
Truck has collided with the government bus this morning, causing the government bus to fall to the side of the road and burst into. Welcome back. You are watching a special broadcast on the second phase of elections in Gujarat. In fact, polling for the second phase of the assembly elections in Gujarat begins shortly, if it's not already begun, because it's 8:02 on the clock. The Gujarat Assembly, of course, does have 182 seats. In the first phase, voting was held in 89 constituencies in Saurashtra, Kutch and South Gujarat. Today's phase focuses on about 93 remaining assembly seats across Ahmedabad, Vadodara and other central and northern Gujarat regions. Of course, this evening also do catch the biggest exit poll coverage on Republic TV with India's #1 election news team. That's going to be this evening. But quickly taking our viewers through the big issues that we are going to see as voters cast their votes, what's on their mind, what are they looking for. So voting, of course, has now begun in phase 2 of the Gujarat elections. Voting began at 8 o'clock and it ends at 5 p.m. Today. We are looking at 93 constituencies that are spread across North and Central Gujarat. Also, of course, the Ahmedabad region, very, very critical. North Gujarat also extremely critical in these elections. We'll have to wait and watch in terms of what the voters essentially decide, what's on their mind when they vote. This phase also, of course, does see a large number of heavyweight voters. We're going to see the Prime Minister casting his ballot in Ahmedabad, also the Home Minister Amit Shah. We'll also, of course, be seeing other Gujarat top leaders who will be voting in Gujarat. Now, this does appear, of course, to be a contest where we also have a new player on the block. Pictures on your screen, of course, of Hardik Pandya. What we see, of course, is that there was the Patidar issue that essentially was playing out in 2017. But the three key leaders of this Patidar rebellion, in a sense, have now gone away. Hardik Patel, of course, one of the heavyweights, has now joined the BJP. There was also the other leaders, of course, also did go to other political parties. So in that sense, that issue seems largely dormant right now, at least in these elections. We haven't really heard a lot of talk about it. And that essentially did form the key opposition for the BJP as well. That was in 2017. But in that sense, many would argue that the BJP has been able to tackle that. So Hardik Patel over there, Virangam is his constituency. I think we've got Priyanka also with us.
And we're going to go across to our reporters on the ground. But also joining us from our Delhi studios is our senior executive editor Abhishek Kapoor, also my colleague Dipti Sachdeva, also joining us on the broadcast. Good morning, Abhishek and Dipti, both of you. Abhishek, to you first. The second phase of elections different from the first one in the sense that North Gujarat is polling, and the Congress did get 17 seats out of 14 in the last, in the last election. So, in that sense, the BJP very aware that this is a tough fight, and they did focus quite a bit on that.
So it's typical of the BJP to consider every contest, every election as a tough fight. But so far as this phase is concerned, in the home state of Prime Minister, this is the home region. Prime Minister comes from Vadnagar in North Gujarat, and the two important urban agglomerations, so to say, in this belt happen to be Ahmedabad and Baroda. Prime Minister has worked in his very early days in this belt of central Gujarat and North Gujarat, so it's significant. Also politically, 2017 elections happened, Nupur, in the shadow of the Patidar agitation, and much of the protests and related violence had in fact happened in this belt only, in North Gujarat. In fact, that was perhaps one reason why Vijay Rupani was replaced with a Kadwa Patidar in Bhupendra Patel as Chief Minister. Of course, that was not just one reason, there were many other reasons, but that was, of course, a contributing factor. So in that sense, a very important region going to poll, second phase of Gujarat elections, 93 seats, you rightly mentioned. And just to give viewers an idea of what all regions go to poll, the central Gujarat region, Baroda, Anand, Kheda, Nadiad, Panchmahals, which has Godhra, Dahod, and central Gujarat region. Then you have Ahmedabad, and then onwards to North Gujarat, Mehsana, Patan, Banaskantha, Sabarkantha, Arwalli. These are the districts that are getting into poll today, and Prime Minister to vote at 9 a.m. He has already appealed for increased voting. In fact, because you mentioned about BJP's tough fight, I think the fact that this elections, first phase of polling, saw about 5 to 7% less voting as compared to last time, I think that's an area of concern for the BJP. That typically lesser voting, as per conventional psephology, remains a concern for incumbent party, and to that extent, I think we have seen that worry getting reflected in some of the statements coming in from the party, but that's how it really pans out. Of course, voting is starting. We are waiting for Prime Minister. Apart from Prime Minister, other important leaders also to vote today. I would say immediately after the Prime Minister, it would be Union Home Minister Amit Shah. In fact, his home state, his home town, Mansa, also happens to be voting today in North Gujarat. So that's how it pans out. Apart from Union Home Minister Amit Shah, it would be former Chief Minister Anandiben Patel, who is now the Governor of Uttar Pradesh. She would be coming in to vote in Ahmedabad, as also, of course, the sitting Chief Minister Bhupendra Patel. Important day lined up for Gujarat. All important personalities from the state voting today. And second phase of polling, 93 seats. That's how it really pans out. And beginning with, of course, Prime Minister's voting, that's at around 9 a.m.
Right, absolutely. Deepthi, also a very interesting day in terms of a tweet that came in early morning. Right after we had tweets from Amit Shah as well as the Prime Minister, we had another one that came in from Arvind Kejriwal. Essentially, Deepthi, also talking about the fact that come in, vote in large numbers, alluding to voting for change, Deepthi.
And you know why there is so much emphasis on this voting percentage, and Abhishek would agree, is because you have a third player this time. It is no longer just a binary contest, Nupur, between the Congress and the BJP, something that we have seen at least for the last 30 years. So what's happened this time is because you have a third player, that is the Aam Aadmi Party, that is obviously trying, to go beyond the regions of Delhi to Punjab. It believes it has anti-incumbency. It believes it has a Delhi model that it can talk about when it goes to Gujarat. We did see them picking up a lot of steam, the initial phase of campaigning. But during the last few weeks, you've seen a lot of their emphasis shifting to Delhi, where you had the MCD polls. Now, when it comes to voting percentage, the Election Commission also, Abhishek, has put out a note where they say that there is urban apathy. Urban apathy because of which you do not have people coming forward to vote. Now, what the BJP insiders, Abhishek, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, could be thinking is there voter coming out to vote or not? Because largely what's getting clearer is that BJP is going to be the party number one. The real fight is for the number two position. Is it going to be the AAP or the Congress? So the BJP obviously would not want any kind of complacency to set in its voter so that it does not reach the polling booth. So the BJP has, the intention to ensure that its voters, especially a lot of first-time voters, also you will see that emphasis coming in the Prime Minister's tweet, Amit Shah's tweet, Arvind Kejriwal, all, having their own set of reasons, Nupur, to ensure that there are more and more people that come forward to vote. On the other side, the AAP believes that this is a vote for change. So if that is the case, the numbers in Surat, Abhishek, have not really gone up very well to ensure that perhaps you could have a sea of change. But again, as I said, if you have a low turnout or you have a high turnout, it is always not indicative whether the incumbent is sitting on a comfortable position or not. Abhishek, quickly, yes.
Yeah, we have all day to discuss and analyze elections. Deepti, but what is important is let's keep getting viewers colors from the ground and what's happening on the ground. It's an important day. Let's try to understand. I'm told Harsha is joining us live, and earlier we had Priyanka from Viramgam. Harsha, I believe, is in Ahmedabad, in fact in Ranip, where Prime Minister would be voting from. And if we can cut to Harsha. Harsha, if you are getting me, please tell us where you are reporting from and what's happening there.
Exactly, Abhishek. Right now, I'm reporting from Ahmedabad, from the Naranpura Assembly constituency, where HM Amit Shah will come to cast his vote. But voters have started coming to the polling station. Let's speak to them. मैम, आज सेकंड फेज का चुनाव है. अगर बात करें हम इस चुनाव की, आपको लगता है कि ये चुनाव बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग हो गया है इस बार का गुजरात का
चुनाव हमेशा इंटरेस्टिंग होता है.
आप लोग के मुद्दे मैम क्या रहेंगे? सुरक्षा, पानी, बिजली, डेवलपमेंट, या फिर जो तीसरी पार्टी आई है वो फैक्टर है?
को तो ये सारे ही मुद्दे अफेक्ट करते हैं, ऑब्वियस सी बात है. तो जो ज़्यादा काम करेगा वही आगे आएगा.
तो चेंज के लिए वोट करने वाली है या विकास के लिए वोट करने वाली है?
मैं अपने हितों के और देश के हितों के लिए वोट करने वाली हूँ.
So these are the voters who have started coming. Let's speak to them also who have come after casting their vote. मैम, आपका नाम?
मंजुला पटेल.
तो मंजुला जी, आज आपने वोट विकास के लिए कास्ट किया है या फिर बदलाव के लिए? किसके लिए कहा जाए?
बदलाव
के लिए. एंड देयर आर मेनी अदर वोटर्स एज वेल. सर, आप लोग नारायणपुरा असेंबली कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसी में वोट करने पहुंचे हैं. विल स्पीक टू देम. सर, आप लोग के मुद्दे क्या हैं? क्या सोच करके आज पोलिंग बूथ पे आए? क्या मुद्दों पर वोट करेंगे?
मुद्दा तो कशुं છે નહીં. બધા મુદ્દા તો સોલ્વ થઈ ગયા છે, પણ મોસ્ટલી મુદ્દો છે પ્રદૂષણનો. એ ધીમે રહીને સોલ્વ કરશે ભરોસાની સરકાર.
सर, विकास की बात करें, बदलाव की बात करें, तमाम चीज़ें मुद्दे हैं इस बार अहमदाबाद में. काफ़ी इंपॉर्टेंट है अहमदाबाद कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसी.
વિકાસ તો થયો છે, એમાં કોઈ છે નહીં, કારણ કે લાસ્ટ 70 વર્ષ જોયા અને લાસ્ટ 20 વર્ષનું જોયું. બહુ ઘણો ડિફરન્સ છે અને યંગસ્ટર જે ભણેલા ગણેલા છે એમના ડિફરન્સ દેખાય છે.
So Abhishek, he is exactly saying that many young candidates have been fielded this time and development was seen in the state, but this time they will also vote for the change and many voters have started coming. मैम, आप वोट डाल के आ गई?
यस.
मैम, अपना जरा स्याही का निशान भी दिखा दीजिए हमारे दर्शकों को. तो आज आपने मैम जो वोट किया है, मैम बदलाव पर वोट किया है, विकास पर वोट किया है, महिलाओं के मुद्दे क्या रहे?
महिलाओं को तो एकदम सुरक्षा मिल रही है और अब से और ज़्यादा मिलेगी. इसी वजह से सुबह से 4 बजे उठ गए हैं कि कब पले जाए और कब वोट करके आए.
तो अब इस लोकतंत्र के महापर्व की मैम बात करें, कितना ज़रूरी है? आप लोग को लगता है कि स्थिर सरकार आनी चाहिए या कोई बदलाव की तरफ भी इशारा हो रहा है?
नहीं, बदलाव नहीं चाहिए हमको, तो ये भाजपा सरकार ही चाहिए.
अच्छा, स्थिर चाहिए. सर, आपकी बात करें?
यही सरकार चाहिए हिंदुत्व के लिए.
अच्छा, आपको लगता है हिंदुत्व मुद्दा रहा इस बार चुनाव?
100% रहेगा, 100% रहेगा, क्योंकि हिंदुत्व है तो ही धर्म टकेगा, नहीं कर धर्म नहीं टकेगा.
So they have been saying that हिंदुत्व is an agenda. सर, मैम, आप लोग भी वोट डाल करके आए हैं. इस बार का चुनाव हमने देखा गुजरात में बहुत ही अलग तरीके का रहा. दिल्ली से एक पार्टी आई, उसने भी प्रचार किया.
यहाँ तो बीजेपी है, ओनली बीजेपी है और कुछ नहीं है.
सरकार, भाजपा सरकार.
तो मैम सुरक्षा व्यवस्था, पानी, बिजली, विकास, ये तमाम मुद्दे रहे आप लोगों के, या फिर आप लोगों ने भी यूसीसी, हिंदुत्व, ये तमाम चीजें कैंपेन में जो
हमारे गुजरात में तो पहले से ही आप देख रहे हैं कि सुरक्षा के मामले में तो बहुत ही अच्छा है। जब हमारे अमित शाह इधर थे, गृह मंत्री थे, तभी से भी हम भी औरत के लिए, लेडीज के लिए इतना कंफर्टेबल है कि पूछो मत। अहमदाबाद, गुजरात तो सेफ है।
ऐसा नहीं है कि रात को कोई लड़की भी बाहर नहीं निकल सकती। यहाँ 2 बजे भी अकेली लड़की बाहर आए तो भी कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं रहता है।
तो सुरक्षा एक मुद्दा रहा है।
ये नहीं, सुरक्षा का है, सब कुछ यहाँ पर है, विकास भी है,
मेट्रो भी हो।
So development has been the issue। आप दोनों भी वोट कास्ट करके आए, हम चाहेंगे हम जब आप वोट डाल के आ रहे हैं तो अपना स्याही जरूर दिखाएं, ताकि अपील भी कर सके कि ज्यादा वोटर बाहर आकर वोट करें।
यस, सबको आना ही चाहिए और ये लोकशाही का पर्व है और उसको सबको उसको पार्टिसिपेट करना चाहिए और उनको अपना राइट एक्सरसाइज करना चाहिए फॉर द बेटरमेंट ऑफ फ्यूचर, फॉर द बेटरमेंट ऑफ नेशन।
तो ये बात कही गई कि इस चुनाव में एंटी इनकम्बेंसी भी एक मुद्दा था, तो बदलाव होना चाहिए। आप लोग को लगता है बदलाव की भी जरूरत है?
एंटी इनकम्बेंसी की बात है तो वहाँ तक तो कैसा होता है क्योंकि ऐसे कोई ज़रूरत नहीं है और ये तो माहौल पूरा बनाया गया था। बाकी ऐसे हमको बीइंग ए गुजराती और हमको ऐसा कोई कंप्लेनिंग मोड नहीं है। वी आर सेटिस्फाइड विद द एग्जिस्टिंग गवर्नमेंट एंड वी होप फॉर द बेस्ट।
मैम इस बार बड़े अलग अलग तरीके के कैंपेन और रोड शोज हमने देखे। दिल्ली से एक पार्टी आई, उसका कोई माहौल नजर आया आप लोगों को गुजरात में?
माहौल तो बहुत बना है क्योंकि
आम आदमी पार्टी आई दिल्ली से, उसने यहाँ प्रचार किया, लगा माहौल आपको पार्टी का?
नहीं, इतना ज़्यादा नहीं, जितना मैं बोल सकती हूँ। मैंने इतना नहीं देखा है।
So Abhishek, the voters have started coming in. It's very good to see that this is early morning since 8 a.m. Before even 8 a.m. before even the voting has begun, we have been seeing voters coming here. Sir, it's good to see कि आप लोग वोट डालने सुबह ही पहुंच गए हैं। क्या लगता है गुजरात में इस बार परिवर्तन होगा या विकास की बाहर चप्पा?
विकास होगा, विकास ही होगा।
अच्छा,
परिवर्तन नहीं होगा।
मैम आप क्या कहेंगी?
विकास ही होगा,
यानी कि गुजरात की जनता विकास देख रही है, परिवर्तन नहीं।
परिवर्तन तो विकास होता है तो परिवर्तन कर रही है ना।
गुजरात में सर 5 साल में अब मतलब अगर विकास की बात की हुआ है, सब
हुआ ही है ना। आप नहीं देख रहे, आप देखते हो ना। आप जहाँ से आए, अंदर गुजरात में आए तो कैसा लगा आपको? आपको अच्छा लगा ना? इंडिया से गुजरात में अच्छा लगा होगा आपको, कोई तकलीफ नहीं होगी आप।
हिंदुत्व वगैरह एजेंडा रहा आप लोग के भी दिमाग में जो आप लोग
हिंदुत्व की बात नहीं है, हिंदुत्व की बात नहीं है, विकास की बात है। जो दुनिया में अभी तक कोई दिखता नहीं था वो अभी दिखा है। भारत देश को अभी पहचाना दुनिया ने कि ये देश है, समझे?
So these are the thoughts of a common man who have coming here to vote. सर आपने भी वोट डाल दिया?
हाँ, डाल दिया।
तो सर क्या रहा आपके दिमाग में, मुद्दे रहे या फिर तमाम चीजें? क्या
मेरी बात सुनो, और लोकशाही है, हम कि नहीं कह सकते क्या करेंगे क्या नहीं करेंगे, ये हमारी बात है।
So the people have started coming. Abhishek, it's very good to see that the early morning time, and since in the first phase of election we had seen dip in the polling percentage. It was 69 in 2017. It was 63% voting in the first phase. But right now, since morning, we have seen, especially in Ahmedabad, because Ahmedabad is 21 assembly constituency, and BJP had won 16 in 2017. But this time BJP is expecting that they could win more. Ma'am, आप आज वोट डालने पहुंची हैं। एक गृहिणी की बात करें तो उसके दिमाग में वो क्या मुद्दे रहते हैं जब वो वोट कास्ट करने पहुंची है? So there are still many voters who are waiting, and these are the scenes from the polling station, Naranpura polling station, from where I am reporting right now. Amit Shah will be coming to this polling booth at around 10:30 a.m. we have been told, and the voters in huge number are turning at the polling center to cast their vote here. Back to you.
All right, that's Harsha reporting from the polling booth where Home Minister Amit Shah would be coming in and voting. That was also his constituency when he was in Gujarat politics. Now, of course, a national leader. Other important seats that are going to polls. Maninagar in Ahmedabad, which was represented by Prime Minister in his Chief Minister days. He comes from Vadgam, which is part of the Unja constituency, which is going to vote today. Then we have Hardik Patel in Viramgam. We have Alpesh Thakur in Gandhinagar South. Both contesting on BJP tickets. Both were on the other side in 2017. Then we have Mansa, the home town of Home Minister Amit Shah. We have Ghatlodia in Ahmedabad city, which is going to see Bhupendra Patel, the Chief Minister, sitting Chief Minister, contesting. It was earlier represented by Anandiben Patel. That's inside Ahmedabad. Anandiben Patel's hometown, Patan in North Gujarat, also going to polls. And Daboi, former Chief Minister, late Chimanbhai Patel's constituency at that time, or his hometown, in fact, there. Many other constituencies. I'll go to that analysis, but let's go again to the ground. I believe we are being joined by Madhurima and Priyanka. Let's go to Madhurima first. Madhurima, please tell us where you are reporting from, what's the mood, and engage with the people there and just get us some flavors of what's happening around you.
Well, Abhishek, I'm reporting from the Arnab school over here in Ahmedabad, where the Prime Minister will be coming shortly to exercise his vote. I request my camera person to show you around as to the kind of electric atmosphere that envelops this entire polling station, and that is all because of the Prime Minister's visit. The people have been pouring in since early in the morning to, of course, exercise their franchise, but at the same time to have a glimpse of the Prime Minister. Now, let me also show you the entire security detail as well, and you know that the entire drill has begun, where the Delhi police, the Gujarat police has started combing out the entire area, sanitizing it for the Prime Minister to come here and exercise his vote. It's a very crucial time over here as the Prime Minister is going to come here shortly. He has tweeted that he is going to come here and tweet around 9 a.m. and he will come here. And today also, Abhishek, he in the morning urged today to people to come out in the vote, because in the first phase the percentage of the vote did decline, and this time, like we have been pointing out, it's a triangular fight with the AAP party being the new entrant. It is a matter of contention that the more and more number of people, Prime Minister, they're urging the youth and the women over here to come out and vote. What needs to be seen here is that the electric environment here, the heavy policing of the Delhi police, so I beg your pardon, Gujarat police over here, along with the Prime Minister's security detail as well. They are combing out the entire area over here and making sure that the entire procedure, Abhishek, goes without a hitch. And it is a very important constituency as well. We are seeing this electric atmosphere that envelops this entire, this entire area. Children have been pouring in, people have been pouring in, all to see a glimpse of the Prime Minister and exercise their vote, Abhishek. In some time, we'll have the first visuals of the Prime Minister. Right in front of me is the entrance. This is the Arnab school where the Prime Minister will be coming, and this is right the entrance over here from where the Prime Minister will be entering the school and exercising his right to vote. The Prime Minister has been very aggressively campaigning, 31 rallies that he conducted in this entire campaign. We'll have to wait and watch and see that what really transpires once the Prime.
All right, Madhurima, they're also speaking to a lot of people there. We'll try to now cut across to Priyanka. Priyanka has also been reporting, remember, from ground zero, and she's got us a lot of build-up to these elections. You know, Priyanka, we've seen 2017, we are seeing 2022. It's a high-pitched campaign, and I think what has changed is the entry of the third player. But does that third player has any kind of resonance also on ground zero, especially in the belts that are going to polls today? And I do see a lot of people behind you. Where about you at this point in time? Just move around and speak to more people.
Well, that's right, Deepthi. Before I do that, in fact, we have some of the first voters from the Arnab school, in fact, who had just gone in and cast their vote. Sir, अपना उंगली का निशान दिखाइए. So you can see the kind of voting that has already started here at the Arnab school, and we will try to get in the word from them because this is the booth where, in fact, the Prime Minister will be coming and casting his vote as well. And we already see that early bird voters have already come here. Sir, बताइए अभी आप अपना वोट डालकर आए हैं. किन मुद्दों को आपने ध्यान में रखा वोट डालते समय? क्या इश्यूज है गुजरात के जो आपको जहन में रखा आपने?
वैसे तो मोदी साहब है इसलिए.
पर कोई अगर इश्यूज हैं आपके दिमाग में जो आपको लगता है कि उसके ऊपर भी काम होना चाहिए, जो आपने ध्यान में रखा है एज अ नागरिक? जो
इश्यूज तो है, लेकिन मोदी साहब है तो सब सॉल्व आउट हो जाएगा.
यहाँ पे ये उनका बूथ है. यहाँ पे कई सारे लोग मैं देख रही हूँ, आप भी सेम जगह पे वोट डालने आते हैं. यहाँ पे कई सारे जो वोटर्स हैं इकट्ठे.
हाँ सही बात है. बरसों से मोदी साहब जब से सीएम थे तब से यहाँ हम वोट डालने आते हैं. वो भी यहाँ हर बार आते हैं, ऐसा नहीं है कि कोई बार नहीं आए हैं वो.
Alright, so we will be continuing to get you all the ground updates. We're slipping into a very short break and we'll get you all the voices on the ground and the breaking updates. Stay tuned to Republic. We'll be back after a very short break.
Amity has been ranked India's #1 not-for-profit private university for 10 years. With top 10 ranked institutions in management, engineering, biotech, law, masscom, telecom, hospitality, fashion and more. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
Truck has collided with the government bus this morning, causing the government bus to fall to the side of the road and burst into flames. About 10 passengers have been injured who were rushed to the nearby hospital. The terror group has released a list of 56 Kashmiri Pandit employees that are on their target.
This drone was shot down in Taran sector when he crossed the international border and came to the Indian territory and tried to drop this drugs consignment inside the Indian territory.
The mandate from the two states.
It's been a high-stakes battle for the Prime Minister.
Who will win, Gujarat and Himachal?
While the opposition was missing in action, the people have given the real mandate.
Will the BJP retain both the states? Is the Aam Aadmi Party even a factor?
Get the earliest peep into the verdict with
Republic PMark exit poll, December the 5th at 6 p.m.
Big win for global women's rights. Iran abolishes the morality police after witnessing the anti-hijab protests.
YSRTP Chief Vice Sharbila Padayatra being stopped by the police as she was to resume it today. Vice Sharbila says KCR is one who is using the police to stop her Padayatra. In Maharashtra's Palghar district, a mob thrashed a man with sticks and kicked him brutally on the suspicion of theft.
के दिन जब दिल में दर्द है अपने जवानों की शहादत पर, उसी के साथ साथ जब ये नारे गूंजते हैं तो एक सुकून है, एक हिम्मत है.
मैं इस वक्त जाफराबाद में मौजूद हूं और आप मेरे पीछे देख सकते हैं कि यहाँ पर फोर्स डिप्लॉयड है. कोशिश ये है पुलिस कर्मियों की, अर्धसैनिक बलों की कि यहाँ पर किसी तरह का कोई दंगा ना भड़क पाए.
तो आपको लगातार बता रहे हैं कि किसान कानून वापस हुए हैं और किसान कानून वापस होने के बाद सीधे किसानों के बीच पहुंची हूं और किसानों से ही बात कर रही हूं. शाहीन बाग पर बुलडोजर चलेगा. शाहीन बाग को लेकर जो राजनीति गरमाई रही वो और ज्यादा गरमाएगी, ये बिल्कुल तय है.
The Congress candidate Rajendra Parmar was caught in a controversy after videos have gone viral of women dancers are hired to entertain the public.
As India marks Navy Day, mega celebrations in Visakhapatnam.
Karnataka now in Mandya, where there were clashes reported during the Hanuman Jayanti celebrations. This was in Srirangapatna.
93 seats will go for polls on December 5th as phase 2 of polls goes underway. Stay tuned to India's election news headquarters. Last post to post, live coverage only on Republic TV.
Waterlogging has increased in the last 3 to 4 hours. Elphinstone station is shut, which means all those people who are hoping to go back home
Welcome back. You are watching Republic TV's continuous broadcast of the second phase of polling that's taking place in 93 constituencies across the north and the central regions of Gujarat. Joining us on the broadcast are Abhishek Kapoor, our senior executive editor, and senior editor Deepti Sachdeva as well. And on the ground, we've got a host of reporters covering and getting you all the flavors of this festival of democracy. I'm going to go across to Madhurima. Madhurima, it's early yet, just about 8:30 in the morning, but are you seeing people around you turn up with enthusiasm? Because one of the main grouses has been that in the last phase, there was about a 4 percentage point dip in election, in the number of voters who turned up. So is that something that perhaps we're going to see in Gujarat now being reversed in the second phase?
Of the Prime Minister and of course exercise their vote. सर आज किन मुद्दों पे गुजरात वोट करेगी? क्या वो ऐसे मुद्दे हैं जिनको ध्यान में रखे वोट किया जाएगा? मुद्दे हैं जिनको ध्यान में रखे वोट किया जाएगा.
मुद्दाओं तो એટલા બધા છે કે બેન ગણાઈ શકાય હોય. ગુજરાતનો વિકાસ છે મોદી સાહેબને આભારી. અત્યારે બુલેટ ટ્રેન બી એમને જે આ નવું મોડર્ન જે બનાવ્યું એનાથી દરેક પબ્લિકને જે આવા જવાનું નોકરી ખૂબ શાંતિ.
Viewers, I think that was a shot that we were getting of the Prime Minister's cavalcade, which will be leaving soon. The Prime Minister will be voting at a high school in Ranip in Ahmedabad. Priyanka is tracking that for us. Priyanka, take us through when we're expecting the Prime Minister to cast his ballot. We were told 9 o'clock is the time.
9 a.m. is the time, Nupur, you're right, and we were getting those visuals of the Prime Minister leaving from the Raj Bhavan as well. Let me also show our viewers as to where we are standing right now. This is the Nishant School in Ranip area, that is in the Sabarmati constituency of Ahmedabad, where we are standing right now. And of course, we are also being told that perhaps by 9 a.m. is where the Prime Minister is expected to come here. And then you can see the kind of security deployment that has been done. He will be going inside of the school, casting his vote. And usually we see him coming out from this particular door and, of course, waving to the kind of hundreds of supporters that have already gathered here. All of these are essentially voters of this particular constituencies, voters of this particular booths as well. And we will try to get in a word from them as well. Since we were also learning, of course, another addition, Nupur, is that the Prime Minister will be going to meet his brother Somabhai Modi as well, and of course he will be speaking to him. He will be meeting with him. He's one of the eldest brothers of the Prime Minister here, and of course we also have several leaders who have come here. In fact, we are also being joined by Harshad by himself, who is the Sabarmati candidate for the BJP. Sir, यहाँ पे कई सारे लोग यहाँ पर आ चुके हैं. मुद्दों के बारे में अगर हम बात करें तो कई सारे मुद्दे जो है लोगों के जहन में है. क्या इश्यूज आपको लग रहा है लोग के साथ में कनेक्ट हो रहा है? और आप ये भी देख रहे हैं कि मोदी जी के आने से पहले कई सारे hundreds of people in fact have gathered here.
देखो बहन जी, ये मुद्दे हैं ना, तो माननीय नरेंद्र भाई जब गुजरात में रहे तब जो राजनीति में बुराइयां थी, जैसे ज्ञातिवाद था, प्रांतवाद था, उनको एक साइड पर रख के उन्होंने गुजरात में सुरक्षा और विकास दोनों मुद्दे रखे और यही मुद्दे उन्होंने भारत में भी रखे. तो अभी भी हमारा ये प्राधान्य रहेगा दो मुद्दों पर. विकास यानी हर आदमी को अपने जीवन जरूरी व्यवस्था के अंदर, चाहे पानी हो चाहे और कोई हो, इनकी स्वास्थ्य के बारे में हो, इनकी हमारा मैनिफेस्टो भी देखो तो आज तक आरोग्य में हमारा 5 लाख था आयुष्मान, अभी 10 लाख कर दिया.
दूसरी अगर ग्राउंड की अगर मैं बात करूं तो एक जो फैक्टर बोल रहे हैं कि आम आदमी पार्टी एक फैक्टर है, वो एक ग्राउंड पे आपको लगा कि आम आदमी पार्टी से भी एक टफ फाइट आपको लगी इस कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी?
देखो, हम वैसे किसी के बारे में कुछ बताना नहीं चाहते, लेकिन वो हमारा संस्कार है. लेकिन फैक्टर नहीं, उनको फ्रैक्चर हो गया है, अभी वो कहीं भी नहीं है, कहीं भी नहीं है. और मैं आपको दावे के साथ कह रहा हूं कि उनकी डिपॉजिट वो नहीं बचा पाएंगे.
That was the candidate of the BJP, Harshad Bhai. In fact, we also have several of his supporters, people who are in fact also voters here who have gone in and cast their votes. They are in fact BJP supporters as well who have come here, cast their votes, and there are several people in fact who have also gathered here who will be casting their votes here. And we are seeing all of these early bird voters here. And let's get in a word from several of the people who have already gathered here. They have been standing here for quite some time. आप लोग यहीं पे वोट करने वाले हैं, यहीं पे आप लोग सपोर्ट, तो यहाँ पर किसके लिए यहाँ पर आए हुए हैं, यहाँ पे किस तरह से खड़े?
मोदी।
अच्छा, पीएम को देखने के लिए?
पीएम को देखने के लिए।
और यहाँ से आप देख सकते हैं कि कई सारे दूसरे भी वोटर्स हैं। आप यहाँ पे वोट डालकर आए?
मैं वोट डाल के आया हूँ और यहाँ पे सिर्फ।
आप तो बीजेपी के पार्टी के मेंबर लग रहे हैं।
नहीं, पार्टी के मेंबर नहीं, मैं यहाँ का लोकल ही हूँ, बट मैं बीजेपी को सपोर्ट करता हूँ।
अच्छा, ओके ओके। तो आप यहाँ पर देखने आए, यहाँ पे किस तरह से वोटिंग हो रही है और प्रधानमंत्री खुद यहाँ पे एक वोटर के हिसाब से आएंगे, उनको भी।
श्योर श्योर, यस यस।
क्या मुद्दे इसमें लग रहा है कि इस कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी की अगर हम बात करें, इस शहर की अगर हम बात करें, क्या मुद्दे जहन में रहते हैं जब वोटिंग आप करते हैं?
सबसे पहले मैं राष्ट्रीय सुरक्षा को देख के वोट करूंगा, फिर नरेंद्र मोदी जी गुजरात में तब तक कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, कर्फ्यू वर्फ्यू सब बंद हो गया है, पिछले 27 सालों से कोई कर्फ्यू का नाम नहीं है इधर।
आप युवा हैं, प्रधानमंत्री आपको कई बार आपसे डायरेक्टली बात करते हैं, कहते हैं कि जो युवा है इस स्टेट का, उसने वो टाइम नहीं देखा जिसमें जब लॉ एंड ऑर्डर सिचुएशन थी, तो ऐसा लगता है कि कहीं ना कहीं एक सुधार हुआ है, या आपको लगता है कि वो जो आपसे डायरेक्टली बात करते हैं उससे कुछ आप?
नहीं, सुधार तो बहुत, लॉ में बहुत सुधार हुआ है इधर। पिछले 20 सालों से यहाँ पे कोई गुंडागर्दी, कोई कर्फ्यू, आप खुद देख सकते हो, कोई गुजरात में कोई है नहीं ऐसा कुछ।
Security is one of the issues that people have in their mind. We have a lot of youngsters, surprisingly, who've come here, who've not really voters, but they've come here to get a glimpse of the Prime Minister. And it's not just here, but we see across this entire area where people have come here and they are in fact waiting for the Prime Minister as well. But apart from that, there are also several voters who have come here. If they don't vote in Sabarmati, there are other constituencies of the city of Ahmedabad where they cast their votes in. And let's get in a word from other people as well who have been gathered here. In fact, you can see people standing over the entire parapets and they're just looking at this entire security arrangements as well. Let me go in the middle of people and try to get in a word from them. आप लोग यहाँ पे खड़े हुए हो, यहाँ पे वोट डालने वाले?
हाँ, वोट डालने वाले हैं।
क्या मुद्दे रहेंगे आपके जहन में वोट डालते समय? क्या मुद्दे आपको लगता है कि कंसर्न करते लोग?
स्वास्थ्य के लिए अच्छा है, वो शिक्षा के लिए अच्छा है, सिक्योरिटी के लिए अच्छा है, वो 3 मुद्दे तो वैसे ही सेम है, तो उसके लिए हम वोट डालने चाह रहे हैं।
हेल्थ, एजुकेशन और सिक्योरिटी आपको लगता है कि मुद्दे होंगे? और दूसरे भी लोगों से बात करते हैं। सर, आप बताइए, आप लोग यहाँ पर वोट डालने आए कि यहाँ खड़े देख रहे हैं? यहाँ
नहीं, हम लोकल ही है, यहाँ के
लोकल है। आप साबरमती कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी में ही वोट डालें?
यस यस।
क्या मुद्दे रहेंगे आपको लगता है आपके जहन में जब आप वोट डालेंगे? क्या मुद्दे आपको लगता है कि इस इलेक्शन में सरकार ने उसको एड्रेस किया है कि नहीं किया है, कि क्या करना चाहिए?
हम तो इंसान को देख के ही वोट डालते, कोई पार्टी को देख के वोट नहीं डालते।
That's another interesting factor, you know, Deepti, Nupur, Abhishek. What we have seen in the voters of Ahmedabad, specifically in the urban areas, where people have said that, of course, there is a Modi factor that they also keep in mind when it comes to the elections. And of course, we have seen how the BJP's campaign has also been more on the Prime Minister doing most of the heavy lifting, and of course, the state leadership campaigning in their particular constituencies. And we will also move around and get in a word from other people as we speak about the kind of responses that we're getting from the early bird voters, the early voters in fact who have gathered here. Sir, आप बताइए, आप यहाँ पर वोट डालने आए कि यहाँ पे खड़े हुए?
नहीं मैडम, मैं वोट डालने नहीं आया हूँ, बट मैं बस मोदी जी का दीदार करने आया हूँ यहाँ पे। जिस तरह से मोदी जी ने अपनी एक छवि क्रिएट की है युवाओं के मन में, बच्चों के मन में। ये मेरी डॉटर सुबह मॉर्निंग से उठने के बाद इसने अर्ज किया कि हमको मोदी जी से मिलना है, देखना है, तो मेरे साथ चलिए। तो हम वो देखने आए हैं और उसको कहीं ना कहीं हम ये।
पर क्या आपको लगता है कि मुद्दे भी रहेंगे इस चुनाव में जो आपको ध्यान में रखे हैं, कि आपके ध्यान में है इस बार वोट?
बिल्कुल, मुद्दे हमेशा चुनाव मुद्दों के बेसिस पे ही लड़ा जाता है, और ये जो चुनाव है वो भी मुद्दों के बेसिस पे ही है। जो हमने गुजरात का मॉडल सुना हुआ है, तो हम देखते हैं कि गुजरात ऑलरेडी एक ड्रॉ लाइन पार कर चुका है, अभी उसको कैसे आगे
Interesting. So of course several issues that people have spoken about and of course we will be analyzing as far as their responses go, as far as the campaign of the BJP goes, as far as the entire election goes, the voter turnout. But of course for the moment back to the studio as we track on the ground the entire movement of the Prime Minister as he comes to vote.
Oh yes, you know, Priyanka, I think it's important to hear these voices that we just got here. It's 8:39, Abhishek. Close to about 9, I think, is when the Prime Minister
should be leaving now, yeah.
Yes, he should be leaving. So what we'll do is we'll also check with our producers if we have more live shots that we can beam continuously. But in the meantime, let me go back to also Harsha, who's at Naranpura. This is where the Home Minister Amit Shah is going to be voting, close to about 10:30. Harsha.
Just before you go to Harsha, I just tell the viewers, Prime Minister stays whenever he travels to Gujarat at the Raj Bhavan, which is in Gandhinagar. And from there to Ranip takes about 20 minutes even for the Prime Minister's carcade. So even once he leaves, it takes 20 minutes for him to reach.
So I think that's why anytime now we should be able to see that movement. And talking of the Prime Minister, I do remember that impromptu roadshow of the Prime Minister last time around when he did go to cast his vote. So there will be a lot of action where Priyanka is reporting. We also have Madhurima, remember, reporting from different vantage points. So Republic will get you every angle, every voice, every newsmaker that matters this election. The big semi-final before 2024. Harsha, you're at Naranpura. This is where the Home Minister is going to be casting his vote close to about 10:30. But, you know, just between the Prime Minister Abhishek and the Home Minister, I was counting, there have been at least 65 rallies. 65 rallies just by the Home Minister and the Prime Minister together. That is how much I think has been put in by these two leaders, Harsha, when it comes to this big Gujarat elections.
We'll discuss the rallies.
Prime Minister and Home Minister both have done so many campaigns and roadshow. In fact, the constituency which Prime Minister has covered and Amit Shah also has done the roadshow in the similar same constituency. They have done the campaign and roadshow twice and thrice. Smriti Irani has campaigned multiple times in the constituency where they both have already been and campaigned. But we will show you our viewers the colors of this polling booth because it's morning time, and from senior citizen to youngsters all have been coming up early morning to the polling station to cast their vote, and this is the queue which has been made. All the citizens, as we see, are standing here for the in the line to cast their vote, and there are several issues which they have been talking about, and there's the female queue and the male queue. Let's speak directly to the voters who have come here to vote. Ma'am, दूसरे फेज की पोलिंग है, आप सब सुबह आ गए हैं, तो ये देख के बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है कि लोकतंत्र के महापर्व में जितने भी लोग हैं सुबह सवेरे ही पहुंच गए हैं. अगर महिलाओं के मुद्दों की बात करें तो मैम आप लोग के लिए मुद्दा रहा विकास रहेगा या परिवर्तन की रहेगी बात जब आप वोट कास्ट करेंगे?
विकास, क्योंकि यहाँ बहुत सारे अहमदाबाद में बहुत सारे डेवलपिंग कार्य हुए हैं, रोड से लेके ब्रिज से लेके मेट्रो से लेके बहुत सारे अच्छे कार्य हुए हैं.
मैम, सुरक्षा की बात सबसे ज़्यादा प्रधानमंत्री ने भी की, होम मिनिस्टर ने भी की. होम मिनिस्टर का तो कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसी भी यही पड़ता है, यहीं पर वो वोट डालने के लिए आएंगे. आपको लगता है सुरक्षा एक अहम मुद्दा है महिलाओं के लिए वोट डालने जब जाएंगे? और we have seen youngsters also voting, and we have since morning we have been seeing youngsters सबसे ज़्यादा वोट करके आ रहे हैं वोट डालने. Being a youngster, आपको क्या लगता है कि जब यंगस्टर की बात आती है सबसे पहले उनके दिमाग में क्या मुद्दे आते हैं?
ड्यूटी आती है, बट अगर हम लोग वी आर फॉर वर्क लेकिन फिर भी प्रायोरिटी वाइज सुबह सुबह करने आ रहे हैं, सो दैट्स इन इटसेल्फ अ बिग थिंग बिकॉज वी सी द ग्रोथ एंड डेवलपमेंट ऑफ नेशन एंड दैट आई थिंक इंक्लूड्स ऑल. सो आई डोंट थिंक आई नीड टू से कि पिछले कुछ सालों में क्या इम्प्रूवमेंट हुआ जो इतने सालों में नहीं हो पाया. दैट्स इन इटसेल्फ आंसर टू द बिग क्वेश्चन.
मैम, अगर हम बात करें हाउसवाइफ के अपने मुद्दे होते हैं कि सब्सिडी मिली कि नहीं, वो गैस की जिसकी बात की थी वो मिला कि नहीं, महिलाओं के लिए जो योजनाओं की बात थी वो पहुंची कि नहीं.
अब घर की बात नहीं रही है, अब सुरक्षा की बात, सेफ्टी की बात वो ज़्यादा मायने रखती है. घर तो हो जाता है सब.
गुजरात की महिलाएं विकास देख रही हैं, परिवर्तन देख रही हैं, क्योंकि कैंपेन भी हम लोगों ने बहुत अलग तरीके के देखे हैं इस बार गुजरात में.
सब कुछ है मोदी के पास. अच्छा. बस मोदी ही चाहिए.
तो ये यहाँ की जनता की माने तो, एंड वी आर सीइंग द क्यू इज स्टैंडिंग है. सर आप बताइए, लाइन में सबसे आगे खड़े हैं, आपके क्या मुद्दे हैं?
बस मोदी जी ही चाहिए. मोदी जी अच्छा काम करते हैं, बहुत बढ़िया है. कोई
आप लोगों को लगता है 5 साल में विकास हुआ है गुजरात?
बहुत विकास हुआ है, बहुत विकास हुआ है. मोदी जी ने बहुत विकास किया है, दूसरा कोई नहीं चाहिए, मोदी जी ही चाहिए बस.
गुजरात तो मॉडल है उनके लिए.
तो आप मानती हैं कि जो मॉडल पेश किया जा रहा है वाकई गुजरात एक मॉडल है?
यस, ऑफ कोर्स गुजराती है पहले तो.
एंड देयर आर मेनी अदर्स एज वेल, वी स्पीक टू देम. सर, इस बार हिंदुत्व की बहुत बात हुई प्रचार में, सबने बात की, यूसीसी की बात हुई, हिंदुत्व की बात हुई. आपको लगता है ये वो मुद्दे भी हैं जिसको ध्यान में रख के आज वोटर वोट डालेगा?
हाँ, वो फ़र्क पड़ता है, बट इफ़ वी आर टॉकिंग रिलेटेड टू गुजरात स्पेसिफिकली, देन ग्रोथ इज़ द मेन फैक्टर इन गुजरात, स्पेसिफिकली इन अहमदाबाद. द अदर फैक्टर्स आर नॉट दैट मच इम्पोर्टेंट व्हेन वी आर टॉकिंग रिलेटेड टू वोटिंग स्पेसिफिकली इन अहमदाबाद.
बार हम लोगों ने देखा कांग्रेस, बीजेपी और आम आदमी पार्टी तीनों का कैंपेन देखा। आपको लगता है कि बाकी पार्टियां भी टक्कर में कैंपेन प्रचार प्रसार कर पाई, जैसा कि भाजपा ने एक तरह से किया? अहमदाबाद में हमने प्रधानमंत्री का सबसे लंबा रोड शो भी देखा।
यस, बट सी बात यही है कि सपोर्ट नरेंद्र मोदी के साथ ज़्यादा, इसलिए आपको वो दिखेगा कि उनका कैंपेन ज़्यादा हाईलाइट होता है। बाकी दूसरे लोग भी मेहनत तो करते हैं, ऐसा नहीं कि नहीं मेहनत करते, पर डेफिनेटली उनका सपोर्ट ज़्यादा है, उनका बेस ज़्यादा है, तो वो दिखता है ज़्यादा अहमदाबाद।
सर, आप लोग के लिए क्या मुद्दे रहने वाले हैं? इस बार हमने सुना शिक्षा की बहुत बात हुई, एजुकेशन की बात हुई, नर्मदा जो प्रोजेक्ट है उसकी बात भी बहुत हुई, साफ पानी की भी बात हुई। ये सब मुद्दे हैं या जनता को लगता है इस बार परिवर्तन चाहिए?
एक्चुअल में देखिए, इतने सालों में जो परिवर्तन वर्ड्स यूज़ कर रही है अदर पार्टीज़, तो वो परिवर्तन देख के ही यूज़ कर रही है, क्योंकि परिवर्तन है लास्ट जो भी जितने साल हुए उसमें। और एजुकेशन को लेके अभी समझिए कि रिसेंटली जो हुआ है कि भाई किसी भी बच्चे को डॉक्टर बनना है तो उसके लिए गुजराती लैंग्वेज जो है वो कंपलसरी कर दी है। तो अदर कंट्री को देखते हुए ये बहुत गर्व की बात है हमारे लिए कि भाई आज बच्चा जो है गुजराती पढ़ के भी डॉक्टर बन पाएगा।
जब आम आदमी वोट डालने जाता है तो ये सारी चीज़ जहन में रहती है कि सरकार ने ये किया, ऐसे किया?
हाँ, वो तो देखिए जो सरकार ने किया है वो दिख रहा है, उसमें ऐसा तो है नहीं कि चलो भाई कोई अपने हिसाब से न्यूज़ देखता है, कैसा नहीं, जो है वो दिख रहा है इतने सालों में, क्योंकि हम रह रहे इतने सालों से अहमदाबाद में, डेवलपमेंट भी है, परिवर्तन भी है। ठीक है कि यहाँ के लोग जो है वो विदाउट फियर घूम रहे हैं। पिछले 10-12 सालों में हमारे छोटे बच्चे को कर्फ्यू क्या है, आतंक क्या है, वो पता ही नहीं है।
So you are watching Republic TV and these are the voices of the voters which you are hearing from the Narangpura Assembly constituency. Stay tuned with us as we are slipping into a short break, but after the break we'll show you more voices from the Narangpura Assembly constituency.
Amity has been ranked India's #1 not-for-profit private university for 10 years, with top 10 ranked institutions in management, engineering, biotech, law, mass comm, telecom, hospitality, fashion and more. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
The Congress candidate Rajendra Parmar was caught in a controversy after videos have gone viral of women dancers are hired to entertain the public.
As India marks Navy Day, mega celebrations in Visakhapatnam.
Karnataka now in Mandya, where there were clashes reported during the Hanuman Jayanti celebrations. This was in Srirangapatna.
93 seats will go for polls on December 5th as phase 2 of polls goes underway. Stay tuned to India's election news headquarters. Gujarat goes to polls. Live coverage only on Republic TV.
Waterlogging has increased in the last 3 to 4 hours. Elphinstone station is shut, which means all those people who are hoping to go back home. When you look at that crowd, what's the message that Houston is sending out? There is also anticipation of a few announcements being made. What are your expectations when they both come up on stage? Are you expecting something big? I'm at the Jama Masjid in Bandra and there are thousands of people behind me. Why they are protesting, but the situation is pretty tense. Thousands of people that you see. 4 दिन की रिमांड है, 4 दिन की रिमांड। कुछ कहना चाहते हैं आप? पत्राचौल स्कैम, मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग का चार्ज के बारे में क्या बोलना चाहते हैं आप?
Truck has collided with the government bus this morning, causing the government bus to fall to the side of the road and burst into flames. About 10 passengers have been injured who were rushed to the nearby hospital. The terror group has released a list of 56 Kashmiri Pandit employees that are on their target.
This drone was shot down in Tarantaran sector when he crossed the international border and came to the Indian territory and tried to drop this drugs consignment inside the Indian territory.
The mandate from the two states.
It's been a high-stakes battle for the Prime Minister.
Who will win, Gujarat and Himachal?
While the opposition was missing in action, the people have given the real mandate.
Will the BJP retain both the states? Is the Aam Aadmi Party even a factor?
Get the earliest peep into the verdict with
Republic PMark exit poll, December the 5th at 6 p.m.
Big win for global women's rights. Iran abolishes the morality police after witnessing the anti-hijab protests.
YSRTP Chief Vice Sharbila Padayatra being stopped by the police as she was to resume it today. Vice Sharbila says KCR is one who is using the police to stop her Padayatra. Maharashtra's Palghar district.
This is Republic TV and you're watching a continuous broadcast of the elections in Gujarat. It is the second phase now. Pictures on your screen are of Hardik Patel, the Patidar leader who's now shifted to the BJP. We are in fact going to cut across and listen into... All right, we're going to listen to Hardik Patel in just a bit, but pictures on your screen are of the Prime Minister's cavalcade making its way to the voting constituency where he will cast his ballot. Do remember, this is Arnab in Ahmedabad, where the Prime Minister will soon be reaching. 9 o'clock was the time that was given, and as Abhishek, of course, was pointing out earlier, it takes about 20 minutes, so perhaps we'll see that happen very, very shortly. But let's go across on the ground. I think we'll go across on the ground to Priyanka, also joining us and with us continuously are Abhishek and Deepthi. Abhishek, one of the things, and Deepthi, one of the things that we've been talking about and talking to are rather urban voters, but in the rural areas, issues are different, and in the hinterland, obviously, there are other issues that essentially resonate with people. If I could bring in Priyanka right now. Priyanka, for instance, the tribal belt in Gujarat. Now, that is an area where essentially the Congress has held sway largely, and issues for the tribal people will be extremely different from what we've been speaking about to the rural, to the urban voters, and urban voters also of Ahmedabad, which is a very cosmopolitan city.
Not audible because we see that a lot of people who've come here and we have